last we left off, you all searched the house of Fiona Wachter, not Lydia, and found the few remaining cultists who appeared to be nothing more than servants who were forced to do Fiona's bidding. During an impromptu trial with Ismark, allowing the surrounding citizens of Vallaki to decide these cultists' fate, Temperance was visited by a very inquisitive, well-dressed figure named Vasily. Temperance shared information regarding the whereabouts of Ismark's sister, Irina, to the charismatic figure before he quickly made his departure. We resume after a surprisingly uneventful evening with Ira now disguised as Rictavio. After picking the lock of Rictavio's cart, you were surprised by both a prick to the finger from a trap, but also the heavy presence slamming into the back door of the cart. What do? Lock now removed from the door, you feel something inside smashing against the side of the cart.
Be really bad. Well, I just want to get out of there. So, and I know we need the cart. I will cast invisibility on myself and try to go unlock the back. Wow. Oh, well, let me get the horses on and everything first if I have time for that.
Okay. So this is before you've cast invisibility, right? You're going to attempt to lead the horses, and as you feel this cart shaking, ruckusing around with something inside of it getting even more violent or excited, go ahead and give me a dexterity check. I'm gonna say, unless you do something fancy, it's going to be with disadvantage because this cart is continuing to move.
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to get the horses hitched. How well they'll stay seated, you're not sure, but for the time being, they do seem attached to the cart.
Shit.
Give me a second. Okay. Again, you hear smashing up against the back of the door. What do you do?
Invisibility. Are there people around? Should I make a perception check real quick? I think I might have checked already before I went over.
You did. You didn't happen to see a whole lot of people in the general area.
Okay. Invisibility on myself, and I will unlock the back and then quickly scramble up and try to drive on out of there.
Okay. As you unlatch the back, the door slams open, and a large feline-like creature, cat-like creature, comes just bouncing out the back, tumbling onto the ground. You see it wearing almost like a decorative plate-like armor. Definitely for protective, but this is a large cat. And it's just immediately turning around, running in circles, as if looking for something. Give me a second. Having seen this, do you do anything?
Nope. I just get on the cart and try to get out of there.
All right. Make an animal handling check as you're riding the cart.
Boy.
As well.
Oh, rip.
Okay.
Buddy. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, being a little stirred from the large beast leaping out the back of the cart, you try a little too aggressively to whip the horses to get them going, trotting away, and as they rear back and just bolt off the loosely tied knot that you had hitched, the horses just lurch out, and both of them are now kind of running eastward, or north and then east, kind of tailing out of the general stockyard, leaving you alone in the stockyard now with this large beast. And you can see it now calm down a little bit and just sniffing around the ground as if looking for something. And you can kind of see the general direction that you had made as you were watching the beastly figure kind of leap out of the cart that you had tracked to get on top. And you can see that it appears to have found your footprints and is now slowly but tracing them back towards your general direction.
Okay. I am going to... Fuck.
While you think on that, I'll allow you to think on that.
Okay.
We get back to the house. The rest of you, we're going to start with Temperance. Having just written in your journal, you feel something nagging at you. Something nagging at you, like maybe you didn't get everything out that you wanted to say, or maybe there's an additional form of communication that is trying to happen, but something is drawing you to look back into your book again.
I go to my backpack and open up my journal.
Do you do it out in front of everybody, or do you find a secluded area to do it first?
Ooh. I think Panton is seeing me writing, so it's not like a hidden thing that I look at the journal. Perhaps I'm just looking back over a poem I wrote. You know, don't have to be too sus.
Okay. As you open up the journal to where you had last written, you see rather aggressive scrawlings in a handwriting that you know is not yours. But it appears to be a poem. And as you look at it and you read the messy scrawlings, you can see that it says, "By Vasily tricked, my temperance is folly. Love lost will be found."
Well, that can't be good.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Okay. You've used this form of communications many times between you and your patron, and even though this seems to be much more messy than previous, where normally the communication is just by finding a way to embolden letters throughout your own writings, this does kind of track as if it would be communication from your patron.
Yeah, so I trust that that's real. There's definitely a sinking feeling of guilt and like I may have fucked up earlier. I don't think Temperance would share that with everyone because she doesn't really think that they trust her anyway.
Okay.
So maybe she's just gonna try and say, let's, should get moving. Maybe should we go check on Ira? It's been taking a while.
As you say that, you hear anybody that's kind of in that front room hears kind of a lightweight thump against the door, and then kind of a dragging, like and then some scratching against the front door.
Nora will walk over and kind of listen and just tell everyone to be quiet. And pull her weapons out.
Give me a perception check. You hear the creaking of the wood porch, the wood boards from the porch. But outside of that, it's hard to hear much else. Like looking, you don't see anything outside of the windows. And the door is far enough to the ground that you can't really see any shadow or anything from the outside, but it's hard to tell what's beyond the door.
Okay. I'm just going to stand at the ready at the door. I don't think I would open it because Ira's supposed to come in through the window.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
And I'm still telling everyone to be quiet because obviously we don't want anybody to know we're here.
Okay.
I think right now Asterius is like not right at the front door, but just in case shit gets loud, he has it in his line of sight.
Okay.
He's sort of watching the door right now, silently.
Do we have a floor plan of house that we are in?
You do not. What are you looking for?
I'm just trying to figure out how everybody's arranged, and I'm going to stay as far away from the door as possible while keeping it in a straight line of sight.
Okay, yeah, it's a relatively open floor plan of the front. There's a kind of the chase lounge that someone had slept on last night. I think it was
Asterius it into another room, though.
Okay, yeah. And then, so you would kind of be standing in what would be like the kitchen area, but you'd still have line of sight towards the door.
I buy any windows?
Yeah, there's definitely two windows. Probably one a little bit behind you on your left, over where the sink would be, looking out into the back of the backyard.
This is not the window that we've been using to get it in and out at, right?
No, that's a different one.
Do I see anything out the window while I'm kind of...
But you have to crawl on top of the counter to be able to see out the window.
It would be rather difficult for you to see out of that window anything other than just the sky or surrounding buildings, but you're more than welcome to make a perception check if you'd like.
Spooky eyes and long teeth.
No, no.
Like staring at me.
No. Anderson, give me a perception check with advantage.
Ooh, all right.
As you're still kind of in the room, kind of recovering from your lack of sleep, you feel, some of your senses that even though the majority of your power is gone, there are some things that you just can't take away once you've experienced them. And the familiar feline scent creeps back into your nose, probably suggesting that it's just an ordinary house cat crawling around on the front porch.
Oh, so I think it's just a regular cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Anderson just kind of haphazardly gets up, goes to the door, and says, "How y'all doing? It's a house cat."
How do you know that?
Well, you never heard a cat before?
I hear a cat now.
Anderson will go to open the door.
Anderson, nobody knows we're here. What are you doing? Stop.
Look, I just
Does
want to show you
anybody
it's
It's fine.
fine. Just
If you're convinced it's a cat, we'll just go back to hiding. But still, we need to be vigilant until Ira gets back with the cart, so we can get out of here.
fine. Are there any like windows in the front that I can kind of just peek out of just to make sure?
Yeah, there's two windows in the front. Both of them have their curtains drawn. They're not drawn, closed, to where you can't. I keep saying that. I don't know why I want to say that. But yeah, both of the curtains are closed, but they're both facing out towards the street.
Can I just like kind of quickly take a peek with just to make sure that it is actually a house cat outside?
Yeah, stepping over to the one on the right side of the room, kind of getting as far over as you can to get the best angle to look towards the front. You peek out, and just as you peek out, you're met face to face with a slender black cat that had kind of jumped and perched up on that little sill right in front of the window, and it's just staring at you, and you hear a little through the single pane
The one
glass.
Temperance and Ira were playing with.
Yeah.
Well, there's your big spooky monster for you.
You're supposed to be the big spooky monster. Are you feeling better?
Anderson doesn't say anything. He just kind of goes back to where he was before.
I wish Ira would hurry up. This is taking.
I mean, can anybody like talk to him or anything like that?
No. Can you?
Should we go check on him?
No, it hasn't been that long yet. Give it a little longer. We're gonna be making much more noise and attention if we go outside, rather than just waiting for him.
Well, I'm getting
Should
kind
one
of
or two people go check on him? It
kind of
has been a while, and we
here.
do need to go.
I know what I want to do if you want to cut back.
Yeah,
Or-
absolutely. We cut back to Ira. What do you do?
Summon Rigsby and kind of I want a cat toy basically fly by, try to distract the cat with Rigsby's movements as I dip out the other side of the cart.
Okay. By summoning Rigsby, you would drop invisibility.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as soon as you cast a spell with invisibility, I'm pretty positive that
Yeah,
it
but it's not a
drops
spell. It's more calling it into being
it.
rather than like casting it. Like the casting the find familiar thing, like actually summoning the familiar is casting a spell. But I don't know if like causing the familiar to appear is.
We'll look really quick.
Okay.
Does bringing forth find familiar? Okay, you know what? For creativity's sake, I'll allow you to do it. I'll look that up later.
You might be right.
But yeah, so either way, you kind of crouch down out of sight from the what you now see to be an armored saber-toothed tiger.
Jesus.
You summon Rigsby and instruct it to kind of fly over the large cat, kind of taunting it. And are you just instructing it to lead it away from the vicinity?
Yeah, if possible. I mean, or just distract it while I get away. I mean, I don't have the horses anymore, so I'm not going to be able to move the cart by myself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say without any issue, the bird kind of swoops down and draws the attention of the cat, and it kind of trots off after it. But you see it kind of. What direction are you sending it? back towards town, away from
If this
towards
is the
end.
cart and the cat was like coming up this side, I would jump off of this side, and I would probably send it into place where there's people so that they notice it and somebody else can do something about it. Well, that's pretty bad, huh?
Yeah.
Ow.
And I will, unless, no, that'd be too much. We just need to go. So I am going to try to.
You can see
find...
you can see now that as you're watching Rigsby fly off back in the direction towards town, leading the Sabretooth away, that the horses made it to the main road that went throughout Vallaki and just kind of settled down.
Okay, I'm gonna go try to gather them then.
Okay. Yeah, give me another animal handling check. Okay. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please. All right. Yeah, as you're trying to haul these back, you get a hold of the reins. That's not hard to do. And as you start to tug them, they kind of both rear up and just try to trample you with their hooves. Luckily, you're able to dodge out of the way, not taking any damage.
I'll take out the bag of oats and things.
That you took from the
stable. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that kind of calms them back down. And you get them back over to the cart. Give me another dexterity check. Now just regular, since there's no Sabretooth banging on.
I'm still poisoned though.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Oh,
Doesn't matter. Good. Yeah. After having done it the first time, you realize the errors of your ways and make sure that you hitch it properly. And right now, it appears that you're able to go ahead and head back to the house. Is that what you do?
Okay. Yeah. Going a different way than the cat, if possible.
Is your disguised self still up?
No, it's not.
So are you riding back through town as
invisible?
Ira? Oh, as invisible. So these.
Yeah, but that'll drop soon, and as soon as it does, I'll do the Rectavio. I'll cast another spell. Oh man, that's a lot of spells for me.
Okay. As you.
Because invisibility only lasts a minute, so I assume
it's an hour.
Like... Invisibility? Disguise self is an hour. Invisibility, I'm pretty sure. Really? I think it's just a minute.
Invisibility 5e.
Oh, you're right.
Yep,
it is
up to 1 hour.
Wow, that's a good spell.
Yeah, I mean,
right,
for it stays up until you take certain actions that would,
yeah.
It's a reconnaissance spell. You can't do anything with it, but
right.
but invisible. But that's why it lasts so long.
You get one shot. Yeah, I'll head back then.
Alrighty. As you start riding the cart back through town westward towards the house, you can see kind of off in the distance several people now taking notice to the large armored beast running around through town, just kind of playfully jumping up, and you can tell that it's not menacing, like trying to eat this bird, that it's just jumping up, trying to play. There's really no way to stealthily ride this cart back. Let me look at this. It hears the creaking of the wheels of the wagon and the bright red and colorful, lettering on the side, and it comes trotting back. And it immediately runs around towards the back of the cart and leaps up inside.
Okay.
The door was never shut after it burst out. It stayed
Correct.
open, and you can just feel the weight of the cart now shift with the beast moving around inside. But it is now just hanging out inside, and you are pulling up to the house now, still invisible. What do? And those of you inside, you can now hear the rickety wheels of the wagon coming up close. So you can tell that that Ira has indeed returned.
See, I told you guys that he would come back soon. You just had to be patient.
A message into the house trying to find Honora. Hey, I'm pulled up out front. If you want to hit the town. No, I have one small problem. There
Did
might
anybody see
be
you?
an armored saber-toothed cat in the back of the wagon.
Okay,
But it
guys.
seems friendly.
Ira says that there's a cat in the wagon.
Like,
But he said it was a big cat with armor. But he also thinks it might be friendly. So, Temperance, you like cats, right?
Yes, one could say that.
Why don't you go make friends with it or something?
I'll venture out, I suppose.
I mean, we gotta be quick because we're trying to leave town, but...
I think message would probably drop it, right? Maybe.
Let's look.
Oh no, you remain invisible.
For a target that attacks or casts a spell. So if you cast a spell, then I guess invisibility drops.
Message is classified as a spell. It's a cantrip.
Yeah, I'd still
seeing
probably
mixed things.
say, yeah. The first thing that I saw was probably rules as written. It would, but the one that I read said that I don't think I've ever met a DM that would rule it that way.
Yeah, I just read that one too.
So yeah, we'll go
But
ahead.
you could be that guy.
I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, there's also the different ones because you've got the awakened mind feature for the warlocks, and you've got like other things that'll let you telepathically talk without casting a spell. So
yeah, so you're fine.
Okay.
All right, so I'll get your back, Temperance, if you want to go see if the cat's friendly. I can assist you.
I would appreciate that. So I guess Temperance climbs out the window, or are you up in front?
He's at the front door.
Okay, front door. I'll go at the front door then.
Yeah, as soon as you walk out the front door, you're quickly greeted with a small black cat trotting up and brushes its leg, or brushes your leg, and just kind of swirls around, does the tail thing where it whips up and kind of brushes your thigh and then continues walking around.
I think Ira's mistaken. That is not a big cat.
This is a fine cat. This is just the little cat.
Right. He told me it was a big cat.
You also see the reins magically suspended in the air.
He's there, right?
Why are you coming out first? Get the bag man and Honora.
I'm here.
Nora's right behind me.
Asterius would be like in the doorway, I'd say.
Yeah. Temperance likes cats, so she was gonna be friendly. But this cat's not that scary. Ira,
Too many cats. There's a giant cat in the back of the wagon. Inside the wagon.
Who would keep a giant... What?
It's a circus wagon. Rectavio's a circus guy.
Yeah, but he
He's got
hasn't
a
been here
cat.
in like a week. I wonder how hungry that
Yes,
cat
so
is.
that cat is probably pretty hungry.
Oh,
Do any of you venture around to the back of the wagon to see?
Yeah, if they're just bickering about this, Asterius would circle around to the back of the wagon, I'd say.
Okay. Um,
I'll lean back into the house and it says apparently there's 2 cats now.
peering around the back of the wagon door has kind of drifted shut. So you would have to open it if you wanted to look inside. Do you do so?
Sure.
Okay.
Why
If it's
not?
going to be hungry, should we bring it some food?
Don't really have that much food left.
Yeah, Asterius will open the door. Why not?
Okay. Asterius, opening up the door and peering inside, you do indeed see a large armored saber-toothed cat. And you see right now its arms kind of folded, folded over, and it looks like it's gnawing on a small doll dressed in like very colorful clothing, kind of a more tannish complected skin. You haven't quite seen any individuals or anything that would resemble this doll, so to you it just looks like a doll.
Like a doll that's sort of not from this area, basically not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
if they're still arguing...
you do also see several large bones that look to be cleaned of even some of the marrow inside. Like these have been extremely picked clean. Yeah, you do see like blood staining across the entire bottom where whatever was fed that had bled onto the wood had now dried and stained the interior.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Does it get... Is it aggressive when I open the door is my next question. Or does Asterius have the time to kind of lean over to...
No.
Yeah, basically whistle. No? Okay,
Nope, it's
cool.
not aggressive.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, then while it's sort of like that, Asterius kind of slowly leans his head over, gives a whistle to Honora, who's kind of still talking to Ira in this case.
I'm actually kind of like the standing in the doorway, kind of relaying back and forth.
Asterius whistles a motion you over.
Okay. Sure. And I'll waddle over with my sword out.
Okay.
It's not a house cat.
Okay. We established that there's 2 cats, but can we get in the wagon?
So looking
need to get out of
inside,
here.
you don't see any sort of seating. It looks to be relatively bare. What little things that you do see in there, stools, you see some large iron rings. Like this appears to be circus equipment, different things. This is purely for transportation.
All right. So, Simon, did you really want to lift me into the cart? Because I would go willingly.
Is Honora asking for Asterius to lift them into the cart, is my question?
I don't know if she would be asking to, but she'd be willing to if you wanted to do that. Like, it's like, I've got my sword out. I'm ready for a fight.
I'm going to be honest with you, probably not of his own volition. Like, she has to ask.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I'm not great with animals, so I'm not volunteering for this.
You would know that there's at least one additional seat up on the front of the coach.
The plan was that Ira would ride out looking like Octavius, and we would all hide in the cart so nobody would see us leave.
Okay.
So that's the plan for your So well, we have to either get the cat out or ride with the cat. We've got to decide what to do.
Peering inside Honora, you would see that the doll appears to be very similar to the typical clothing of a Vistani.
I wonder if it eats Vistanis. Huh. I want to kind of look around and see if anybody's noticed the cart in front of the house if we're beginning to draw a crowd or attention in any way?
There hasn't drawn a crowd, but there are definitely some people that are kind of eyeing the scenario.
Okay, guys, we gotta hurry. And I'll start. Okay, lift me up. Let's get in here. Let's figure out what we can do.
Yeah, now he'll lift you up in there.
Yeah, so here, kitty, are you a nice kitty? And I'm gonna try to squeeze past it into the cart without disturbing it.
And at this point, it was kind of, its hind legs underneath of it, its front paws crossed, just gnawing. And as you go to walk past, it just kind of flops over onto its side, kind of exposing its belly and its legs kind of sticking out a little bit. It definitely seems extremely well trained.
It's getting belly scratches, and I'd be like, okay, guys, I think it's safe. Come on in. Let's go. Scratch its belly.
Temperance is already there, so she just hops right in. That sounds okay to me.
Is this the cue the cue that we're getting out of the house and getting into the cart?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
I think Asterius, unless someone else is wanting to go in last, Asterius is probably the last one to get in there, sort of resigning himself to this fate.
I'm assuming the cart is a little tall for me, so I will need assistance.
Anton, as you're walking out and you're stepping down off of the front porch, and you can still see a small black cat circling around Temperance, kind of as she hopped up into the wagon. It eventually turns and it sees you, and you can see that it physically shudders. It becomes stiff. Its hairs stand up a little bit, and it just looks at you and hisses. And then trots off into a nearby bush.
Oh, I didn't think I stink that bad, but I'm gonna prestidigitate again just to make sure that I have every bit of dirt and smell off of me, because I don't know what the hell that was about. But okay, whatever. And I will make my way towards the back, and I will look up and say, "Oh, that's a mean looking." Does the kitty look, or the big kitty
Thought
look
that
at
was
me?
No, that one not so much. It seems to be pretty into what it's doing right now with the doll. Just kind of chewing on it and just making it a slobbery mess.
You know, on second thought, I'm gonna make my way back towards the front of the cart, not wanting to be locked in with an armored saber kitty that might be angry at me if I go in, because the little black cat might have been a portent for bad things to come. So
Okay.
I will try to get into the driver's seat, I guess.
Okay, yeah, you would see, and if you kind of still wanted to remain hidden, the front of the wagon isn't all open-faced. For whatever reason, there are, it's like convertible. It has like doors on the side, kind of stopping where the bench as well as where the floor space is. So if you wanted to kind of either lay down on the bench or kind of sit on the floor, you would be able to
I'll
do
sit
so.
on the floor, maybe pull a blanket up to me and cover most of myself up.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do so. Like the foot stool that kind of comes out allows you to kind of get up there, open it, and sit up against the
Okay.
sit
Down
on the
with
floor.
Anderson, are you coming?
Yeah, Anderson would just kind of peer in, see that the cat is like kind of, I don't know,
Docile.
passive. Yeah, docile. And he would just kind of shrug and get in and sit in the back.
If you were to shut the door, you would realize that there is no light inside of this. It would be completely dark.
Perfect.
I take that back. There is a small slot you now see. If you were to shut it, you would see a small slot at the top of the wagon. And kind of looking at it, it's lined with like a metal, and looking at it, you can see like blood stains kind of look like they were dripping down into the cart. So maybe that could have been the method at which Rictavio had dropped whatever food inside of the cart.
So yeah, Honora will close the door, and then she'll knock on the door to let him know that we're settled, so that Ira can move.
Since
And I do.
Asterius does not have dark vision, he lights a candle and just sets it next to where he's sitting.
It might not be wise if the cart's gonna be moving.
It's a candle. It's not going to set the cart on fire.
It might set your lap though. Hot wax.
Well, he set it next to him.
Hey, don't yuck somebody's yum.
Yeah. All right, now that everybody's loaded up into the cart, Ira, you can not only hear but feel the back door kind of shut. Do you take off? Headed
Drop
westward?
invisibility, disguise self as Rictavio, maybe after moving a little bit further. Away.
You're still inside the town. Are you waiting till you get outside of the town before you do that? And looking around, even though you're invisible, the amount of time that it took you all to kind of come out, get into the back of the wagon, I'm not going to say that there's a crowd, but there's definitely people that are kind of watching. You'd have to do something pretty... It would be incredibly difficult for you to be able to switch from invisibility to looking like Rictavio without drawing attention.
I'll just try to go. I'll just try to go as far as we can.
Okay. Alrighty. Where is your destination?
I believe we were planning on going south first. But first we're going to go west, out the west gate, I think.
Okay. So was the intention to go to Argynvostholt, or was it to go to Rictavio's tower to check on Irina per
I thought we were going to do
Ismark's...
I thought we were going to do Argon Host first, and then circle back to Rictavio. Was what the plan was originally?
Yeah, so that's what is in my mind.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I know. It's really frustrating.
It's funny because I could have swore the plan was the opposite, but if that's what you guys are
that
saying,
was like I don't know, it was the opposite. Yeah, where
because I'm pretty sure Ismark asked
Barovia,
you.
Please.
I'm pretty sure Ismark was the one that asked you to check on his sister because he couldn't and he needed to stay here.
Right, but can you put the map on, because we were going to do the closer one first, so whatever one's closer.
I thought originally we were doing a zigzag of going down, and then
we were doing a
tower,
zigzag.
Wizard of
It wasn't the closest one we were doing. We were going to Rictavio's tower, then back down to Argynvostholt.
Oh shit, that's Argynvost.
Let's see.
Because I thought we were pretty much going to be there, then bounce up to here.
Yeah, I thought we were going to hit Argynvostholt because it was technically closer.
Yep.
I remember that not being I could be remembering wrong.
I mean, we can go look it up, but
because I was, especially after the interaction with Strahd, I was like, oh, that'll be interesting.
Right. Yeah. That's the same thing that's been sitting in my mind for 3 weeks now. Is that, oh shit, we're going the wrong way.
Yeah, you would know.
See, that's what I said. That was because I thought the plan was the tower first.
You would.
Otherwise, I would have said Argynvostholt.
Because
well, he asked about Ismark's family or something, right? And that, I mean, we could pull up the.
That's where we were heading, and I said, "Oh, I think a tower." I don't know.
But you guys are more than welcome to go that way. It would take you a lot longer via cart and horse, because you wouldn't be able to cut through the forest with a cart and horse, nor would you be able to head south along the unpaved trail that's right along the Lunar River. You would have to weave all the way around. We have to
go like this way
and go down to follow the trail with the cart. If you were going by foot or by horse, you would have been able to cut through the woods at that checkpoint and then hike up.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it'd be easier just to go to the tower first. Then is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
and get rid of the
Yeah.
cart.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because all of this shit looks nasty. Nasty.
And I am in no way trying to influence your decision in any way, shape, or form
No,
due to
but
what
this would
prepared.
have
I
been the
have both of them
conversation
prepared.
that Ismark would have probably told us about, like to get to Argynvost's host, you have to do this way, and you have to weave up this way and
Yeah.
this way when we had the map out and we were talking about it. So this is just information that our character should have known. So yes, I think that the goal would have been to go whatever was closer first,
Okay.
just to get out of Vallaki.
Okay.
So wait, are we deciding on going to Rictavio's first?
Yeah, it looks like that's
Yeah,
actually going
I
to be the
think
better
so.
path.
So then the second question I have now is, can we take that north path, or do we have to go south? You see what I'm talking about? Like,
As in,
Yeah,
if
right
we're
here.
going up through
this
here,
path
or if we're going
versus
down through
this
here.
path. Yes, correct.
You can
Yeah,
take the
we would take the
northern
north one.
path. The reason why you wouldn't be able to take the cart via the southern path is just the steepness
Too close
of
to the river, yeah.
it's basically cliff face. Like Argynvost's Holt sits on, like, I don't know, a high part of a small, like, mountain outcropping that's overlooking that river.
Yeah,
so you'd have to.
we can't. Yeah, we can't go this way. This way is out of the
sorry.
question.
Right. But
I
this
just
way
did-
is not. Yeah.
This way through here, I can remember to do this. Like through here, we can do.
Yeah.
But I think what we're going to do is go up through here.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and then hit the Wizard of Wines, and then come back and hit Argynvost's on the way back. Then the idea was to make a circle one way or the other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alrighty.
That way, yeah.
You set off westward through the town. Getting closer to the edge of town, you see several people, a group now, starting to gather outside of the Church of St. Andrel. And riding by, you're getting a lot of awkward looks. A lot of people looking at the cart and wondering why it's traveling on its own. And you can hear a lot of gossip, and some of them are still talking about what they're going to do about the group of adventurers, what they're going to do with the newcomers, and how they're going to capture you and get you to Strahd. And then some of them are talking about what they're going to do for their livelihood with their home, and all the damage that has taken place, and, family members lost. So a lot of different gossip happening there. But the cart does not get stopped, and you're able to travel through the West Gate. Even though there is still a barrier around the entire outside of town, minus the southern portion that's still kind of being fortified. The guards that normally man the gates, not present. Must be either lost during the fight, too scared to head back out to the gates. One way or the other, it is not manned, and you're able to travel through without issue. It's gonna be a decent, lengthy ride. Probably taking, a solid 5-6 hours to ride there. What do you guys do during this time?
While I'm up in the cart, I want to.
And Ira, once you got outside of town, would you then transform to Rictavio, or would you just allow the illusion to drop and you would just be yourself?
I think I would just allow the illusion to drop.
Okay.
I want to look something up right quick that you and I discussed.
While you're looking that up,
Yeah.
do any of you in the back, what sort of foods do you have inside of your packs? Do you have
Rations.
Yeah, just regular
Rations?
rations.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had rations, but I can't seem to find them. So maybe I don't.
Anderson, remind me, do you still have that severed head?
Oh God.
No,
You
we
look
got back when we were riding back to
That's right, you pitched it out
the
the
town
window.
where he dropped it out the window.
That's right, I remember. Okay.
Honora will be like using the tiger as a lounge.
Okay. Yeah, it
Leaning
doesn't
against his belly.
it doesn't seem to mind. It does. It's starting to get a little curious, and it's sniffing around, even kind of lurching the front half of its body forward to get close enough to be able to sniff around in some we're just gonna say into Anderson's pack, since it probably has still a little bit of remnants of dried blood, even though it's been prestidigitated.
Slacking on your cleaning skills, Panton.
Too bad I'm not in the cart to see all the disgustingness in there.
Yeah.
Instead, you're exposed to the elements.
I don't. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that yet because I don't think I have.
Oh, look, Anderson. It likes you.
And she just kind of gives it a glance and realizes it's not like eating anything, so he just kind of shrugs.
Bless you, Ira.
Bless you.
Bless you.
I'll message to the back, or maybe I'll just call out. You guys can come out now, if you'd like, to get some fresh Barovian air.
Is there room for all of us up there?
Could they sit on top of the cart? Is there like?
I mean, realistically, they could probably sit on top of the horses. One or two.
I think we're okay.
But yeah, they could sit on top of the cart as well. It's definitely wide and sturdy enough that it would be able to support the weight.
I'm just going to come up from the floor and just kind of enjoy the fresh air and just look around.
Yeah. Arm kind of perched up on the door of the cart, looking around. The breeze feels nice. I mean,
There's that top hatch too, so we can get the sunroof open.
yeah, it's not covered on top. It's just the sides. But all things considered, this is probably the most mild day that you guys have had while in Barovia. No frigid cold. The rain has ceased for the time being. It's a relatively pleasant day. High 60s. It's a little bit chilly. High 60s, a little bit of a breeze.
As on par for Panton, I'm going to just incessantly talk to Ira about Delphin, the magic he dabbles in, and all that other stuff. Just trying to figure out other things that might help me out with my magic.
I think Honora's gonna doze. She's gonna snooze.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do so. Unless somebody else prevents you from doing it. The large cat, used to being in such a confined space, seems relatively unfazed. Anybody that cares to look as the cat is kind of spitting out and refixing the doll that's probably, it's a good sized doll. It's probably about a foot and some change long. And you can kind of hear like a wooden inside. Like this is meant to have a little bit of rigidity for the cat to, chew on. And one of its legs kind of pop up just in the position that it's in. And you can see a tag stitched to the bottom of the foot that says, "Is no fun, is no Blinksy."
Is no fun, is no.
Oh, that's on point.
Yeah.
with Panton talking to me, I'll kind of patiently bear it all. And at kind of when there's a break, it's interesting you're bringing up all these other possibilities that might help you with your magic when you still haven't been able to complete his first lesson.
Yeah, but he's not here to
5
actually moderate
words.
it and everything. No. You're not Delphin, so you can't tell me to do that right now. If Delphin were here, then I would totally stay quiet. But at this point,
I'm
no,
one of
I'm gonna
Delphin's students, and for all you know, perhaps I
No,
can
so
use my magical ability to communicate with people and let them know that you're slacking on your duties. Why don't you
if
talk to the?
you could, you would have already done it, and then I would have heard something from Delphin. So I don't think you're gonna actually can do that. So
You would know from a sending stone perspective, from what he had told you, that you could send messages back and forth once per day.
Yeah.
So, Panton,
I'll
did
just
you
say.
go ahead?
Oh, you may be able to turn into a giant ape and slow the pace of time, but don't underestimate.
okay, look,
Don't
you're giving me
underestimate
way
me.
too much credit about slowing the pace of time. Like I can't really do that yet. Give me time. I might be able to, but just individual things right now. So, like, I could do it to you, and then you would be talking really slow. But I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to be hurt.
How kind of you. Why don't you talk to that woman? She seems like she's
Oh, you talked to
probably.
the new girl in the back. I tried talking to her. She kind of like blew me off, and well,
Huh.
you haven't blown me off yet. So that's I'm
Yeah,
just
I
going to figure
wonder.
it out.
How did you approach that?
Oh, I just kind of went up to her and talked to her about it a little bit, just kind of curious about everything, and
Okay.
she was just like kind of taken aback and kind of like walked away from me. And
Hmm.
yeah, you know me, and you're not offended about anything that I do over here. So
I'm concerned, I think is the word I would use.
I know you're concerned about my well-being and everything, but I just want to. I just
You seem different. You've been changing a lot. Maybe it's a thing that
I'm
happens
different.
to the young. Has your magic been causing any other changes?
No, I mean, I've learned some things. I developed some things. Like when we first met, I couldn't turn into a giant rage ape and rip corners off of buildings and throw it at wolves. But now I can. Just learning things.
I guess. Just you look a little haggard.
Oh, I mean, that's what this place does to all of us here. I mean, you don't look like no spring chicken yourself either right now, bud.
I feel like I've borne it pretty well. Haven't been hurt too
Uh,
badly.
I don't know
Okay, no,
about that,
all
buddy.
right.
The bad look
Earlier,
in
there
your
was
eyes
something
is
earlier
different.
happened. Here, let me show you. Actually, I want to show him the trap of the lock that poisoned me.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. You're able to do so. Just pulling it up, you can see still what appears to be a slender, pointy needle. Just the faintest residue of a green, powdery in some spots, but the other viscous area of liquid still on
are
it.
you okay, buddy?
I'll be all right. It was didn't feel very good.
That
And I'll
lasts for
I'll
an
kind of
hour, right?
describe the yeah. I'll
Yeah.
describe the poison on it
Did
and
did you pick a lock and didn't check it traps?
I didn't figure there would be in this.
You didn't think stealing somebody's cart would be trapped.
It was locked already. It was a fine enough lock.
So the
And
fancy
I was
lock
in a
was
hurry.
trapped at all.
I mean, it's a lot to put something like this into. But I mean, I guess he's kind of
I'm still
he's a
interested in
circus
learning
man.
how to pick
Like
locks and
this could have killed somebody.
yeah, I could have. I'm glad it didn't kill you.
Oh, come on. It's not
Uh,
like this is the first time that's happened.
Yeah, I remember when you expertly locked us in. With,
You keep bringing that up.
it wasn't a fun time.
After about an hour of travel, crossing the bridge to the west, coming across just a typical stone bridge. Looks to be in relatively good shape, crossing a smaller stream coming down from Lake Zarovich, I think is the name of that lake.
Is Lake Zarovich the one on like the big one, or is that the streams?
Let me tell you here in a second. I was pretty sure Lake Zarovich was the big one, but I could be mistaken.
It is the big one.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And
Lake
was that the
Zarovich.
one that he said had the turtle?
Yes. Yes,
I'll
that
bring
would
that
be
up
the
to
one.
Panton as well.
Is that the two-headed or three-headed turtle or something like that?
Yes, that was the turtle that he was speaking of, that he was originally asking you guys to go find. And you can see that kind of off in the distance, but this is where you're coming up to the fork in the road where you'd need either decide to go straight or turn right. Venturing into, you can see that the path gets a little more narrow. It's still relatively well worn, but it's not as smooth of a ride as what it would be if you continued going straight. Your cart will still be able to travel through there, and the horses will be fine. It doesn't look that rough of terrain, but it's definitely going to be a little bit bumpier for all parties involved taking a right.
I'm gonna knock on the cart. Be like, you guys ready for an adventure?
The road's going to be a bit rougher. Maybe you want to walk. We'll slow it down and walk alongside.
I think
You
I'll rest
awake?
my legs.
What was that, Asterius?
I think I'll rest my legs instead.
Okay. Does everybody else just kind of hang out in the back of the cart?
Yeah, and Anderson kind of hangs out in the cart.
I want to be down to get out and get some fresh air.
Okay.
It's been a good hour being deep inside. I don't think that's normally her vibe. It's more outdoorsy. So.
Yeah. It's having been back there for an hour, you can definitely it feels
Smells like people.
well,
Smells like
it not only smells
dried
like
blood.
the people that you're with, but also wet cat. You know, the just the remnants of the whatever it was eating. Like it's definitely.
This cat has been here for a while too. It probably shat in the corner or something like that. So.
Yeah, that is
At least
very
once.
true. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is very
At
true.
least.
Honora's still trying to snooze, so she's gonna ignore everybody.
Okay.
What's Asterius doing in the cart?
He's sort of deep in his own thoughts right now. It's very clear he doesn't like this situation, but there's a certain air about him that's kind of been like, yeah, I've kind of been through worse in this case. I've slept in barns before, basically. Like, this could be far worse, but it's not stopping him from lighting a candle and a stick of incense to make sure that it doesn't stink as bad. Even if, in a way, he partially regrets it because it kind of just adds to the stink.
Just adds another layer of smell.
Yeah.
Anderson's happy he doesn't have his dog.
It's like when
anymore.
a teen cleans his room and he thinks like just spraying Febreze is gonna make it smell nice and not just a teenager's room and Febreze.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just Anderson kind of breaks his like 1,000-yard stare and looks to Sirius and says, looks like you know your way around a fight a little bit.
He sort of cracks one eye, his good eye open, and looks at you. I've been around. And you seem to know how to handle yourself. Pulled out some tricks I haven't really seen before.
Yeah. kind of noticed you go with magic.
I've been gifted by the Eternal Watcher's blessing. Magic is in his name.
You know, it's funny. I feel like what I had was gifted as well. If you don't mind me asking, what would you do if just one day you couldn't do it? Your god abandoned you, and just your magic was gone.
There's like a moment as he pauses, sort of runs his tongue across his teeth in thought. I continue along. If Helm were to forsake me and deem me not worthy of his gifts, then there's no reason to cry about it. At that point, all you can do, at least all I can do, sorry, in this case, is continue along, because that's what Helm would want, and what I can do. His gifts do not define who I am, as helpful as they are.
Yeah. Can you keep a secret?
I can try. As long as you don't reveal something that's a danger to everyone. Trust is something that I'm slowly giving to people in this group, each at their own pace.
Anderson, keeping in mind that while Temperance did kind of hop out the back of the cart and shut the door again, Honora is still there. Whether or not you can tell that she's sleeping or not, she does seem to be relatively motionless with her eyes closed. But just keep that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Anderson feels like he needs to say something, so
Okay.
he's willing to speak up a little bit. He just
You
says,
will not find judgment if that's what you're concerned about.
"Look, you saw what I was, right? Back there."
What you are, you mean?
Anderson takes off his sunglasses, and you see the blue eyes instead of. Oh, no, Asterius never saw the yellow eyes, did he?
Yeah, I was gonna say you do this gesture, and Asterius sees nothing different.
Yeah, he didn't get the opportunity to see the
I
eyes.
didn't show it. But
Perhaps
he does so anyway.
flirtatious move.
He does so and just says, "No, we're during the battle, Strahd, he took it away, and like a coward, I ran away. I don't think I can protect anyone anymore."
Where's the cowardice in that? You knew your strengths, you knew your limits, and you were disarmed by your opponent. You made a tactical decision.
I wish I could see it that way. The way I was trained.
So you see it as a fool?
I see it as, well, I ran. And where I come from, you don't run from evil.
And in the back of your mind, Anderson, as if almost haunting you and echoing, the voice can be heard just from your memory. Run, little piggy.
I feel like I should have at least stayed to fight, but I ran.
Let me tell you a lesson I once learned. While I've never served in any form of organized military, the Church of Helm is adjacent to that. We assist in many efforts in that. Many of the soldiers are followers of Helm. During a war game, 2 lieutenants were under training. One was outmaneuvered, outflanked. But he knew his call was to pull his own troops back. He suffered losses, yes, assets were lost, people gone from the game, at least. And he understood a bad situation and left. He later then won that war game after taking his chance to reflect and recollect. You are just disarmed. You are not infirm. Does that make sense? This talk of I could have done something. You did do stuff. You were actively out in the front line. There's no cowardice in running away. You did not owe an obligation to those people. Heroic as it were, you did not owe them your life. You made a call that saved yourself. The only thing stopping you moving forward is your own inability to recognize that you're still here. Does that make sense?
Right. No, it does.
He
Thank
sort of
you.
leans back from where he was. I don't know what this trick, this magic, whatever way you were able to transform into that thing, but now that it's gone, it's a moment to learn that no one should rely on one trick.
Right. Well, I think I feel a little better now.
I'm glad I was able to provide some assistance.
Thank you.
Of course. At that point, Ian just settles back against the caravan wall and closes his one good eye, and then grumbles a bit as reflexively he takes a deep breath and then immediately regrets it.
At this point, Honora will reach her little hand out and put it on Anderson's leg, just offering silent reassurance.
Yeah, I mean, I understand he'll kind of just enjoy the silence and just kind of nod in acknowledgement, just saying his way of saying thanks.
My eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I heard and I understand and I
Right.
wasn't gonna contribute, but I wanted you to know that I was there for you.
Temperance, stepping out of the back of the cart, you've probably been walking for a mile now, taking in the surroundings, looking at the trees. While some of them still have leaves of green, a lot of them are withering and dying. The foliage underneath very sparse, coated with fallen twigs, branches, seeing several ravens flying overhead, and other sorts of small game kind of wandering throughout the woods. What do you do while you're out walking next to the cart? Do you just take this time in silence, or...
Yeah, I think for a while, Temperance would probably be quiet, just enjoying a little peace in all this. Probably like one of the first moments of like true peace since coming to Barovia.
Okay. Yeah, this has been a relatively peaceful journey so far, once you've gotten outside of the gates. Ira... oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I guess Temperance was going to kind of give a little, like, nice weather over to Ira to... Nice, since now that she doesn't know how to be nice to people, but she wants to offer a little kindness, a little friendship to someone.
Yes, the sun never shone so bright. I'm glad one of us is spry enough, has the energy to kind of get out and about.
For the record, even though he said the sun's never shone so bright, there has not been any sun in Barovia for quite some time. Like, while it is light outside, there is no sun in the sky.
It's there in spirit.
It's less dark.
I appreciate your disposition, though. Has it been worse? You've been here longer than I have, from the sound of it.
Usually a lot mistier, a lot darker. This is good. A lot colder too. So, is it cold and misty where you come from, or nicer like it used to be?
Damp, I suppose, is a good way to describe it.
Moist.
I'm from Waterdeep. You familiar with that place?
Sounds like a faraway big town that I've never been to.
You probably haven't been to, but even as someone that had lived in the woods, such as yourself, Neverwinter, Waterdeep, some of those major cities, it would be extremely difficult for you to never even hear those names of those cities in passing. Major trade goes through there, and even the village that you probably grew up in would have received trade through there in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. So yes, what have it never been?
I miss it, but being out in the country has been interesting, though I never pictured this. Where's your, are you from a city, or you seem...
No,
Your clothing's
I
a
grew
bit
up in a
different.
village,
Ah,
and spent most of my time in the last few years out in the woods.
by
Nice
yourself?
there. Yes, yeah.
Ah. Did you leave the village, or...
Temperance like sort of starts like really stuttering over her words at this.
Sorry, that's all right. You don't have to...
No,
You wandered here. Did you mean to come here? Did you know what this place is?
no, I don't think anyone knows what this place is. It was an accident, as most things in my life seem to be. So. I assume you did
Maybe.
not intend to come here?
Tricked, I guess, in a way. Promise of opportunity. Favor for a friend. But not everything was above the board as to what we were getting ourselves into. So, a lot of mystical things that I don't really understand. I have some arcane ability, but not a great handle on it, like my little friend here. Or perhaps you.
Yan's asleep.
You're muted, DJ.
You're muted.
I know he's not. Is he? He's not muted on the thing. I think his mic just cut out.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
He knows a guy named Devlin. Devlin. I was supposed to go to Daggerford and like hang out and learn some stuff, but we kind of got roped up into all this, and yeah, it was a good time. Not really, but here now, and just trying to learn some things.
Got the young and the talented and a bit of a late bloomer. Is what you're looking at. Did you have
actually laughs at that.
Did you have a teacher? Or are you like my friend here? It just sort of naturally came to you.
I suppose you could say I was chosen for it. Or offered it.
Hmm.
How does that work?
Temperance again kind of stutters over her words. Trauma. That's how it works.
She say trauma?
I think so. That kind of sounds like you, honestly, and someone I knew.
So when you cast stuff, sometimes do unintended consequences happen because of that?
I think that
Only
happens.
only because I'm not always confident in my abilities, yes.
Hey, I'm pretty confident in my abilities. Don't you think?
Yes. Well, I think you've learned some caution,
I mean, yeah,
some
you know,
temperance, if you will.
Oh,
Perhaps you could learn from each other.
Temperance, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like come off so abrasive and everything, but you know, if we want to revisit the conversation, I'm more than willing to, because I'd like to learn more things.
How are you doing on food, Temperance?
You know, I must have run out. Do you have a small snack I could nibble on?
Yes, and sure. I was wondering, perhaps it's still pretty early in the day. We could stop the cart, maybe pull aside. If you've been here a while, do you know how to find maybe mushrooms, or what did you do? What have you been doing for food all this time? How have you been taking care of yourself?
Really quick, just to kind of interrupt you, as you're distracted by this conversation, Ira, you eventually, you kind of continue as you talk about trying to look for a place to maybe pull off or stop the cart, pull off to the side, and rest for a moment. You see what looks to be a large pothole in the left side of the road. I need you to make an animal handling check to see if you can steer the horses away from this hazard.
Can I try to help him out with that since I'm up there in the passenger or the driver's seat with him?
Tell me how you would do that, and I'll tell you whether or not you can.
While he's pulling on the reins, I'm gonna try to climb down and do where's my spell list? I'm gonna cast light up ahead, so hopefully the horses would actually see the dip and try to actually avoid it.
You guys went out at morning time, and it's only been a couple hours since then, so it's still definitely light enough to where it would not be an issue of seeing it. It's just that the horse, like the cart's wider than the horses. The back left wheel of the cart is going to hit this divot unless he kind of pulls the reins a little bit to cause the horses to want to veer right.
Only one person withholding those reins, and it ain't gonna be me.
If it looks bad enough, I think I'll try to slow the cart down. And since I just brought up, maybe stopping and doing some gathering.
Yeah.
We check in with our passengers.
All right. Yeah. Make an animal handling check.
Oh boy.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your one good roll.
You pull on them tight, and they stop. Well short of the I don't want to call it a pit trap, but pothole. And the rest of you that are kind of in the back, you feel the cart come to a screeching halt. It definitely
Sorry.
wakes you up, Honora. And the cat, large saber tooth, even kind of stirs and kind of gets up and stands, and kind of, with what little room there is, tries to like do a circle, obviously getting antsy or excited that the cart has stopped.
Question, DM.
Yes, sir.
Why'd we stop?
The cat like a tabaxi?
No, this is a armored saber tooth cat. Armored saber tooth tiger.
Okay, gotcha. Just wanted to make sure I
Is
had
this
One
time?
person prancing around.
I'm gonna
Just a
crawl
really,
over.
really cunning use of the disguise kit.
Yeah, I'm gonna crawl over to the back of the wagon, knock on it, and go, "Why'd we stop? Is there an issue?"
Yeah, I could use some of our big, strong men to help us move the cart to the side. There's a pothole.
Asterius doesn't move.
I mean,
Anderson gets out.
Clearly, you just want men, so I'm out.
Sorry, and halflings, strong, armored halflings.
Do you need a shovel to continue digging the hole you're making?
We could fill in the hole. That's a great idea, Bagman. Why don't you get on that?
Do you have a shovel?
How do you have a shovel? Did you find one somewhere?
No, I don't. I was
Oh.
asking rhetorically.
Oh.
Why would you suggest a shovel then? I just don't understand.
Because you were embarrassing yourself. and I was
Let's
giving you a way out.
we're talking about maybe going around gathering some food, and this cat seems pretty agitated. Perhaps it could catch something for us.
How do you know the cat's agitated? You've been in the front seat this whole time.
Cat's pretty lazy.
It tried to kill me earlier.
Big kitty, did you try to kill Ira? Is this the big kitty trying to kill Ira? As I scratch behind its ears.
As you
I
scratch
think it's
behind
very
its
protective of the
ears,
cart.
it definitely playfully like whips its head around and attempts to not forcefully bite your hand.
Oh. No kitty.
If you ever had a cat before.
Yeah, make a dexterity saving throw. See if you can jerk your
Good.
hand out in time.
Yay. Nope.
You take just 1 point of piercing damage as it just kind
Ow.
of grazes your hand a little bit too rough.
Bad
I've
kitty.
moved around and
Ugh.
opened the cart by then.
Yeah, I'll climb out. Probably need to take a bathroom break anyways.
But you are not disguised as Rictavio, correct? You're just you. I couldn't remember what you said you did.
No, I'm as
You're
I'm
just
as
Ira.
myself.
Okay. Yeah. The cat hops out and immediately starts sniffing around, kind of jogging off into the woods, and kind of always circling back to the cart. And it's hard because you haven't seen this many large cats this close, but it almost seems like a resignation, a look of disappointment in the cat's face as it eventually just hops back up into the cart and lays down.
Oh, okay. Bagman, you sure you don't want to get up and
Honora's gonna go into the bushes and take a few minutes by herself.
your joints are
Yeah.
gonna lock up in there?
If I'm lucky, I would drift off. He'll hop out of the cart and take a look at the pothole situation that's currently up front.
Now that the cart is stopped, you could see like that it would. You've ridden horses before. That it would just simply be as much as just guiding the horses around. I mean, even if you had to, just grabbing the reins by the front and just carefully leading them over. But definitely looks deep enough that if the cart were to go over at full speed, it probably could have damaged the wheel.
Did it look like he stopped it because he noticed a little bit too late, basically? Or is it just a case where, like, he could have...
He
Just
definitely
slid
could
him
have, if with that animal handling check, he definitely could have made it around. There's enough space to maneuver the cart around the hole, but it would have taken some redirection for sure.
Asterius kind of looks at Ira. It's like, we ever driven a carriage before?
I don't have the most experience, admittedly, but I figured better is safe than sorry.
Well, good news is if you just make a gentle turn here, you
I
can-
know. We were going at a pretty good speed. We were just talking about stopping. I figured I'd check in. As you can see, some of us need to use the bathroom. Probably a good time. Smells like cat shit in the back
It
there.
was not delightful. Yes, it was.
Well, it also smells of incense, the whatever you were lighting up in there as well.
Do you want
Smoke
some?
covers it pretty well, I suppose.
Yeah, Ira, if you were to give them some Gigglefoot, I think they'd be in a better predisposition back there.
For flavor, can I just roll like an intelligence check to see if I know what Gigglefoot even is? Or is it like a common thing in like medicine or something like that?
It's native only to Barovia.
Okay. So I probably don't even know what that is then, so...
Yeah, with a name that has giggle in it and foot, like it seems silly.
Yeah,
but you don't know if it... I mean, it could mean like he's gonna try to come over there and tickle your feet and make you giggle for all you know.
Yeah. I'm going to
Ira
save you
winks
the
at-
hassle and the possible danger. You don't want to touch my feet.
No,
Thank you.
yeah,
I don't know what Gigglefoot is.
I think Why don't you give him some? Could be fun.
No.
Maybe when we get to... don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah,
I'm
yuck
not
are yuck.
right now.
Don't
Maybe
try
when
to it makes you all goofy.
It's
Maybe
amazing
when we
how the
get to the
person
tower.
all the way over there, who I didn't even ask about Gigglefoot, no offense, Anderson, gave me a more straightforward answer than either of you two so far.
He really needs the Gigglefoot.
You kind of caught me off guard with that touch your feet question.
What am I supposed to assume when you say Gigglefoot, and I have never seen Gigglefoot before?
I did not say that, Panton.
It sounds like a medical ailment.
It's just
you have a
herb.
medical
It's a
ailment
relaxing
called
herb.
being a curmudgeon. Okay? So,
His one good eye just beads on you for a moment. Sure. Either way, if we're taking this break, it's a good chance for you to slowly see about bringing it around. I can see about making sure to tell you if you're getting a little bit too close or not, if that's what you're worried about.
Sure. Anderson, Temperance is going to look for some mushrooms. Do you think you could accompany?
Yeah, I figure I can help her.
Okay.
All right.
I will keep an eye on the cart.
Honora, you said that you're wanting to hunt for something. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Fresh meat.
Fresh meat. Okie dokie.
Well, interestingly enough, there's this giant armored tiger that's sort of prowling
I'm
about.
going to feed the tiger.
Oh, roadkill then.
Or a wolf or a bird of some sort or whatever I can find.
There's a lot of different ways you could do it. You could give me a perception or investigation or a survival check. Like a perception's just going to be something along the lines of looking up into the trees and see if you can see any birds just out and about.
Investigation is my best skill.
Okay, that would be let me give me an intelligence check, but with if you have proficiency in nature, you can just roll a regular intelligence check, but it won't be it won't add your investigation modifier.
I don't have a modifier in either one, nature or investigation, so it's just a +2.
Okay, yeah, then go ahead and just give me that then.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Looking around, you do happen to see some antler markings where bark has kind of been worn off of trees in a very specific pattern. You're having been in the woods, kind of being a little bit of a tomboy growing up, you had been out in the woods. You had seen this before. So you know that there's something nearby. Or at least had been. Coming up to it, you can definitely tell that the markings on the tree are relatively fresh. Give me a survival check now to see whether or not you can hunt that particular thing down. Okay. Looking around, you find a couple other trees that have similar markings, and you can see some shallow hoof prints in the dirt. And you're tracking along, but getting deeper into the woods, you don't see anything. You would have to venture much further in if you wanted to continue hunting for something, or for that particularly. The two of you that were looking for mushrooms, go ahead and give me a nature or a survival check for me.
All right.
Okay.
Buddy, we're getting all the mushrooms.
Yeah, you guys both wander in a little bit further south into the woods, and you happen to see a large tree that had fallen over and long since started the rotting process. Kind of stepping over the log, finding that a lot of it has been hollowed out, and on the inside, some moss, and then also some larger fungi are growing inside of that, and you can also see several looks like insects, beetles, and the like have kind of made this fallen tree their home. With that check, Temperance, you'd know that these mushrooms are edible. They're not going to taste the best just in their raw form. They would definitely be better if they were put into boiling water or, cooked in any way. But, they're kind of going to be dry a little bit. Honora, do you continue deeper into the woods? Sorry, I'll let you get back, Temperance.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I'd continue to kind of search.
Okay.
I'll look back at the wagon and then just be like, yeah, they're fine. And
Okay.
continue to search.
All right, back to Temperance, sorry.
Temperance would pick them and mention to Anderson, I learned this the hard way once. Ready to head back. Are you ready to head back, Anderson?
And what is the hard way exactly?
A few difficult days of lying on moss.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Nothing in your stomach.
I can understand that. By the way, interesting stuff you were doing back at the house. Are you like the little guy where you just have magic?
Everybody's asking.
Everybody has to
Wait.
know
Yeah,
about
I was gonna
magic.
say this is the next
Just
one on the
Temperance
list.
Magic.
Next will be Honora,
Yep.
and then I think actually Honora is
No,
the
Nora's
last
not gonna
one.
ask. She's actually not the only one that's like, it's fine.
Coward, 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 coward.
I'm sorry, did you respond to his question, or do you just pretend like you didn't hear it?
That would be good. No, I think Temperance would say, she just kind of give a nonchalant answer of In a manner, I just sort of have it in a manner it was given to me.
Anderson just kind of glares for a second, like trying to understand what you're saying, but he'll just kind of drop it and say, "Well, that's fine."
Shall we head?
Yeah, I think we got all we need.
Alrighty. Honora, venturing out further, the conversation of the rest of the crew becoming more and more faint. Give me another survival check. Or, yeah, give me a survival check this time. Okay. You happen to see, as you're looking around, venturing further, a bush, a large bush, that the front seems to be broken up unnaturally, where it would have been like a large round bush. It appears as if something had fallen into it or trampled through it. In approaching that, you get close enough and you can see a large deer, antlers, but unfortunately you also see that it appears that some sort of wolf-like creature or some sort of predator had gotten to it, as the majority of the stomach intestinal area had clearly been eaten through. Looking at the blood in the surrounding area with that type of survival check, you would know that it hadn't been dead longer than a day. So it's still relatively fresh.
Okay. I guess I'll drag it as best I can back to camp.
Okay. With your strength, you would definitely be able to. It's gonna take you a little bit, and the rest of you kind of looking around, seeing Honora not in the vicinity, can hear the dragging, shuffling of leaves as just this constant heavy, object is being dragged, traipsed through the forest back towards the cart. Anybody looking to the north would eventually see this halfling coming out of the woods carrying something dragging something twice her foot or her size, carrying it by the foot, just trudging head down, just dragging it through the woods.
I feel like as Honora's coming back, it's just the case of Asterius is sort of to the side of the cart, like, keep going, like guiding Ira to make sure he can get around the fucking pothole.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can see that from your location, Honora, that they're gradually guiding the cart over, and as you get closer, you see the large saber-tooth tiger kind of poke its head, its large fangs hanging over the lower jaw, and it just kind of turns its head and it's looking around, nose in the air, and it sees it and it just leaps out and just immediately sprints. You don't even get fully out of the woods yet before it runs over towards it.
There, you will like me, kitty.
And it just trudges up to the side and immediately just sinks its claws and its teeth into the hindquarters of this deer, and just starts tearing into it.
Distracted. Hey Panton, can I ask a huge favor?
Yeah, what you need?
Could you make the back of the cart smell better, please? Clean it up a little. It's really vile.
You know, I'm not a servant boy. You know that, right?
Please.
You have to beg a little better than that.
Please, Panton.
Panton, you hear
bucket and soap.
You hear inside of your head as you start to resign, "She's using you. She always uses you for what she wants." You think she's looking out for you, but it's all for her.
As that's going on, I'm gonna go up to Panton and put my face in his in his face. It's like, do you want a friend to help you, servant boy? And I will start to.
Excuse me, and I'm gonna hop down off the cart, and she's my sister. I don't have no problem helping my sister out.
No response. Your head is clear now. You can tell that there is no presence in your head.
Really weird. Okay.
Especially if you had a friend doing it. And I'll take a bit of string and wood, and I'll take a bit of time to summon an unseen servant to help. Check this out, Panton. And then you see a pile of cat feces just float out of the back of the cart and then plop onto the ground.
That's a new spell, Panton. Did you get that new? Is that wait?
That's not me.
What?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Ira?
And I'm just going to climb up into the back of the cart and just kind of prestidigitate. I'm not going to say anything to anybody anymore.
That's a change.
Well, that was a neat trick. Thanks. That should help a lot. Appreciate it, Panton. Thank you.
And I'm going to silently climb back into the cart and just kind of ruminate on that.
What do you do with the remainder? Like, now that your unseen servant is finished with its task, do you assign it a new one?
Does everything else seem to be in order?
Yeah. The cat is or the saber-tooth is feasting on the day-old carcass of the deer off onto the side of the road in the woods. The cart is now past the pothole, looking to be on the straight and narrow to continue down the path.
Could I try to have could the unseen servant drive the cart?
You turned into an unseen servant there.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't see why not.
I think so. Yeah, it says anything that a human servant could do.
Yeah.
It would probably drive the cart better than I can.
Yeah, it would be an ever watchful presence, for sure.
What's only good for like an hour?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
that gives
yeah,
me
for
some
the
time
next hour. For I'll say about 45 minutes left on that spell after about 15 minutes worth of cleaning up. Is there anything else that you guys do before leaving this spot on the road?
Some rations. Because I'm not gonna eat day old carcass. That wasn't for us.
Mushrooms.
Raw?
Is there like any
Mushrooms.
any like running water here where we could like get something and try to like boil water?
Why do you need to boil water?
He just shows the mushrooms. Might be kind of good.
Mom had a recipe for mushroom stew that included rabbit, and it was so good. We need turnips and celery. Oh, and I miss Mom. Oh, Panton, remember Mom's mushroom soup? Wasn't that? Oh, you didn't like mushrooms. That's right. It was so good though. Oh,
right.
I miss home.
In this general vicinity, there would not be any direct source of water. I mean, I suppose that it would be.
Actually, guys, I have a vial of alcohol.
A vial?
Yeah, it fills up every day. Just a little bit, but it'd be enough to flavor. Oh, and Panton, you had that bag of spices.
I just got it now.
So
And I'll pull out the cooking pot stuff that comes with the adventurer's gear, Help me make a fire.
Well, look, we're gonna be around water in the by the end of this trip, right? And we can get some water then. We can make a proper meal in a safe place.
From looking at the map, you would know that um, Rictavio's tower is basically on a little island that's kind of out in the water. There is a path that leads up to it, but it is surrounded by water on pretty much all sides.
Okay. All right, fine.
Good point.
And at this
Some
point, you're
rations for
probably
now.
about 2 hours out, so relatively short distance.
Well, I guess we're having mushroom stew for dinner. I wonder if we can catch any rabbits between now and then. I haven't seen any. Have we seen any rabbits?
Y'all can have
Temperance,
the
you can have
rabbits.
some of my rations.
You've seen rabbits in your time here. I don't know if you've cooked any, but you've definitely seen them.
Figure out how to trap a rabbit.
Anderson, you were saying?
Oh no, Anderson's just like, y'all can keep the rabbits.
Oh, that's right. You don't like meat.
Yep.
All right. How do you proceed?
I guess when the tiger starts working its way through the deer, when it starts getting closer to being done, we'll get maybe after an hour, get back in the wagon and head back, move on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be when you are.
Mm-hmm.
An hour goes by, and the saber-tooth tiger seems to be still content, just chewing on the carcass.
Honestly, guys, I'm okay if we head without it.
If we're going to meet Rictavio, probably want to make sure all of his stuff is returned to him, not part of it. And I think the tiger is his.
Here, come on, let's just get some of the bones into the cart. Come on, and I'll grab
Break
like
the
a
door
loose
open
bone
and
and try
start
to like
going.
shake it in front of the cat, and then throw it
Yeah,
into
give
the
a
cart.
Another animal handling check.
Shit.
yeah.
You don't get bit by the
Give it
cat
with
trying to take its
advantage.
food.
Do an animal handling check with advantage because that's pretty. Yeah, I'd say you were able to find a piece that had still some meat hanging off of it, and it was enticing enough to the saber-tooth that it lunged right up into the back of the wagon and continues chewing on that, making sure that as it lays back down facing towards the door, that it not only has the bone with the meat on it in front of its face, but also the Vistani doll kind of like underneath of its chest, still kind of poking out a little bit.
Great, have fun with that. Close that up.
Who's all inside of the cabin, or inside of the cart? Did everybody get back in, or is Panton still in front? Temperance, are you continuing to walk?
Still walking.
I'm going to.
Honestly, Anderson would probably get out and stretch his legs a little bit more. He'd probably walk.
Okay.
I'll get into the cart.
Yeah, but where are you, the front or the back?
I'm sitting next to you, actually.
I was gonna say I was gonna find you and spend some time with you, so
I know
that was
you're
my
muted.
plan, anyways. So.
Yeah.
That's the plan. I want to chill with my big little sis. Big little big
Asterius will
Yeah. So how
also
does
be in the
this
back.
older thing work? I mean, you look older, but you're still my little brother.
I mean, yeah, I'm short, so yeah, I'm your little brother, but I'm your older brother. So
But I was born first.
you know what? I just feel older than you now. So
Yeah, but I feel smarter than you every day. Doesn't make it true.
yeah, well, I know. I mean, I do silly things all the time, but that doesn't matter. I'm the older brother now. That's how I feel.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Actually, gotta talk to you about something.
Okay. Is Anderson or is Asterius in the back of the cart with us, or does he riding
Yeah,
up front?
Asterius is in the back of the cart.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, go ahead, Panton. If you want to talk to me about it, I'm here.
I'd rather not talk about it with everybody else.
Do you want to walk?
No, I hate walking.
It's good exercise. It makes you stronger.
Yeah, I'm perfectly content being the little older brother. So.
All right. Well, you know that
We'll just talk at Rictavio's then.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm just gonna write for an hour while the spell still holds, and then pick up the reins before it dissipates.
Okay.
I mean, he could ritual cast it, so you could literally just sit there and cast the spell with 10 minutes left.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just keep doing that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and you'd realistically only have to do it one more time to make it all the way to the tower. All right. About an hour goes by shortly after you're casting the second unseen servant. And everyone, without having to make any sort of checks, can hear multiple howls in the distance. You hear one, and then synchronously just multiples just kind of chiming in, sounding like wolves in the distance. But you do not see anything. About another hour goes by until you come to a cold mountain lake enclosed by what now are misty woods and rocky bluffs. Thick fog creeps across the dark, still waters. The trail ends at a grass-covered causeway that stretches 100 yards across the lake to a flat, marshy island with a stone tower on it. The tower is old and decrepit, with collapsing scaffolds clinging to one side where a large gash has split the wall of the tower. You can see time-worn griffin statues, their wings and flanks covered with moss, perched atop that support the walls. You also notice, parked near the base of the tower, within sight of the entrance, is a barrel-topped wagon, spattered with mud. But other
Do you
than that,
recognize the wagon?
you do not. Let's pull you guys the map, I suppose.
What an ominous statement. Top 10 things to let you know shit's about to go down. Let's pull you to the map.
Not always.
I like a good new map.
True, but this is Curse of Strahd, so I'm terrified either way.
Good, you should
All right.
be.
And it might be black for a lot of you. You'll have to scroll all the way down.
Scroll down to the bottom.
Scroll down.
Get a wagon token for our wagon to go with the other wagon.
Yeah, you parked it just outside, leaving enough room to be able to kind of turn it around and to make an escape if needed.
So is this our wagon? This is the barrel top
It's a
wagon.
This is
wagon,
the barrel
yeah.
top
Okay.
wagon, yeah. Before we get started, I guess I just want to ask: does anybody need to use the restroom or need a break?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
let's do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Let's go ahead and take a fiver, and we'll be right back.
Oh boy!
Fresh.
So, John, I just want to let you know that what happened with Panton feels like character development for Honora. Even though I wasn't there and I wasn't part of it. Like, I had feelings.
Good.
Yeah, like, that's the kind of shit I live for. That was so good.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Okay, what did I just come back into?
Oh, I
Alright.
just tell her that what happened with Panton is like John's worried that I'm not having enough character development with Honora, and I was like, no, what just happened with Panton is a character development moment for Honora.
Oh,
Even though she has no idea what's happening, that's gonna come to play. That's gonna come to play hard.
Yep.
That's fair. That's fair. Eh?
Not happy. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like you and Anderson are the ones that have been most fucked.
I mean, it's not terrible.
In a great way. It's a fantastic way.
No, dude, this is great.
Yeah. You going to Asterius for advice was the right call, man.
That honestly was that. I think that made
Brilliant.
Anderson feel better.
It was a beautiful scene.
That's this campaign in a nutshell. There have been so many of those character moments that have happened with everybody. That's why this campaign is so good.
I'm
It's
shocked you chose. I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked you chose Asterius because like there was a good chance if it was gonna be a really stupid question, he was about to just call it a very stupid question. It was a shocking. It was a
It also
shocking
worked well for Anderson's character development.
Yeah.
Like being a stupid crybaby. Okay.
Yeah, like that. I think 100% like Asterius believes in what he said. You relied on this one trick. This is what happens when you rely on one thing. Like, so you need to suck it up and move forward and learn something else. Because the only thing keeping you back is you.
I would have been offended if my life's work of being able to transform into a great beast would have been called a trick.
True.
Irish stirring shit all day long.
Mm-hmm. If that's what like,
You
if
can't
that's
lock
what you
us
choose
in
to,
anything right now.
if that's what you choose to define yourself as, that's fine.
I just imagine
Asterius,
it hurt a lot to get to that ability. So to lose it, it kind of hurts a lot too.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it'd be something in that vein.
Yeah.
Did you
But
get to
no,
choose that background, Ira? Or did
Which-
the purple pink background with the
Yeah,
Oh,
he chose it on Discord.
Yeah, there was a limited number of options, and I felt this one best fit my personality.
No, the background shows him.
All right,
Somebody
everybody's
designed
back.
it for me.
So coming up to the tower, is specifically seeing this wagon, under layers of mud. This wagon sports a fresh coat of purple paint. Its wheels have fancy gold trim. A brass lantern hangs from each corner of the top of the wagon, and red drapes cover a tombstone-shaped window on each side. A steel padlock secures the back door, hanging from which is a cheap wooden sign that reads, "Keep out." What do you all do?
Well, Ira, if you're going to have some fun with that fancy-looking picklock, I would probably recommend making sure that, you just kind of give it a once-over.
You guys, we don't need to mess with the wagon, and Honora will walk up to the door.
Yeah, this is gonna say Asterius will fall behind.
Come on, Ira.
Um,
you know you
Wagon
want
looks
to.
heavy.
Anderson will kind of go up to the door, but take a quick glance at the card. Is there anything I can immediately see inside?
The drapes are closed, so you.
Oh, the drapes are closed.
Yeah.
Can I quickly investigate? Just like how many does it seem like? It might be in survival or investigation. I want to see like footprints. Like, how many people have been around? Like,
Yeah, you could give me a survival check. Honora, as you're walking up to the door, you notice something relatively peculiar about it. Outside of the fact that the door is made of iron, it does not appear to have any handles or hinges, for that matter. What you do see, however, in the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol. A connected series of lines with 8 stick figures set around it, carved into the inlet above the door, is a word, Kazan. And here is what that door looks like.
Is Kazan a language of any sort? Be
No, Kazan is not a
dwarvish?
language.
Okay.
And I guess go ahead and give me just give me an intelligence history check to see if you can okay. Yeah, just kind of looking at the way that the word's scrawled out, it doesn't appear to be in any sort of different language. Like there's not any it looks like common. It potentially a name.
So DM, I'm gonna look at that and I'm going to start off because I'm ever so curious. I'm gonna go like this, and then this, and then this, and then this. If
Well,
I'm
he's
reading that
dancing.
one right. Like this, then
Quentin, what
this,
are you doing?
I didn't even
this,
give him any
and
giggle
then
foot.
this.
All right.
Does anything happen?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was really hard for me to be able to see those motions fully because of the limited screen.
Yes.
I want you to pick a check. You can to basically decipher how well or how firmly you make each pose as you're going through it.
Like what kind of pick a check? What do you mean?
Like
Something
I don't want to say performance because I don't know. Yeah.
But
It could
performance
be
seems appropriate.
yeah, but it could be performance. But go ahead and make it with advantage. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Rats. Okay. Yeah.
What?
He solved the puzzle too easily.
Yeah. The puzzle
All right,
is entirely too easy.
See you all next week.
I'd like to buy a
Sorry,
vowel.
guys.
But what is Kazam?
No abracadabra.
Like to buy a
Not
pose.
Kazam. Kazan.
Panton goes up aggressively, T poses, and the door just opens.
This is just that part. This is just that part in Mother 3 where they dance to open the door.
Look what I did.
Okay. So
I thought for sure that was opening.
I will knock on the door as it opens and go, "Hello, is anybody home?"
it is silent. You don't hear anything. Ira, going back to your survival check, you do see several footprints around the cart, and you see several sets, but you're not sure how many, how recent. It seems to be too muddled to be able to make any.
See more than 3 people?
It's hard to tell. I mean, with a 4 on your survival check, it could be just one person walking around a bunch. But there's definitely a lot of footprints.
Can I see
The
your
cart.
monocle
Where was the sign that had the keep out
On the
on the
back
cart
side
or
of it,
the?
yes, on the cart. So like draped, like the padlock is dangling there, draped over top of the padlock is the sign that says "Keep Out."
Okay.
Ira, can I see your monocle right quick?
Sure. Right after I use it.
Are you're looking at the cart with the monocle?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Yeah, the entire wagon radiates in an aura of conjuration magic.
I'll relay that to Panton. Well, the whole wagon's magical.
How does that relate to
Conjuration.
the door by chance?
I don't know. I'll look at our wagon too, just to see if there's anything magical about it.
Let me go back to that item really quick.
And before the saber-toothed tiger is all magical.
Nope, it's just a normal saber-toothed tiger.
That's what you want us to think.
Just can't believe I opened the fucking door to the tower. I thought
That was my
opening
first
the cart.
instinct, seeing a symbol on it.
That was impressive.
I was like, hey, maybe this will open the cart. Who knows?
And to be
Looking-
clear, it's because you danced.
Yeah.
I guess.
He followed the dance moves on the door in the right order.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
I'd
much.
say getting jiggy with it never did
Oh.
anything.
Looking back at your Rictavio's cart, Ira, you see small orbs of magical aura. Give me a second to tell you what. Gosh dang it. Oh, it just says spells. So after seeing those orbs of magic or auras, do you do anything?
Well, like, they're just around a certain area?
Yeah,
Or
if you're walking
what's the
closer
nature?
to investigate where, you'll notice that they appear to be coming from,
Don't tell me. I don't do that. I just glance over in that direction, and see that,
Okay.
and then I don't tell anybody else. And
abjuration in nature.
okay, then fine. I'll go investigate.
Okay.
Between the two wagons, this one's far more magical. There seems to be some kind of protection magic on our cart.
Alright,
Pretty good
let's
wagons,
see.
I'd say. If we were Wainwright salesmen.
Guys, we're looking for Irina.
wouldn't
Why
put
are we
these out on
messing
the
with
lot.
the wagon?
Yeah, let me,
Maybe Irina's in the big cart.
Well, they should be in the tower.
so,
But nobody's
Oh,
answered.
So as soon as the door appears to just dematerialize, kind of vanish in front of your eyes, you're met with kind of a torn curtain, a drape that kind of drapes across the entirety of this short little small little entranceway. Looking at the flagstone floor, you see lots of debris. Do you push
Hardly
past?
seems like a.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be saying, hello, is anybody home? Sorry to barge in. But yeah, I'll
Nothing.
go inside.
Stepping past the curtain, you can see crates, debris, just strewn about all over the bottom floor. You see a 5-foot square indentation in the center of the room, and what appear to be 4 individual pulleys kind of mounted into the floor. and iron chains spanning from floor and kind of following it up. You can see that this 5-foot hole spans the entire height of the tower.
Guys, something bad happened here. It's a mess.
On each corner, those little bronze circles that you see in there, they're actually much larger than what it appears. They're clay, not clay, stone, stone statues that just appear to be standing in front of the pulley.
Because we've had run-ins with living suits of armor, so I'm just gonna make sure that's not
Oh,
alive.
yeah.
Describe the nature in which you poke the stone with your sword.
It's just tip of my sword, just kind of like dink dink, just to make sure it's not gonna move. Dink dink. Not like
Okay.
anything like mean, but or trying to break it or anything.
It doesn't move.
Okay. Irina, are you here?
No response.
I'll look up. So is there like an elevator type thing? Is that what's in the middle?
Yeah, they're like stairs that we can use.
On the outside, as I was explaining, it kind of brushed over it a little bit, but when you were looking on the outside of the tower, there weren't any stairs, nor do you see any on the inside, but there was some scaffolding, as there was damage on the upper floors that appeared to be relatively old damage. There was wood scaffolding there that looked like it was set up to start the repair process. So there is scaffolding on the outside with like a ladder that you could climb up if you wanted to.
And then
You
the
know what?
stone statues around there have rope in them that look like they could make the elevator work.
They don't have the rope or chain in their hands, but it is directly in front of them.
Well, Anderson, maybe you could pull me up and I can check the upper floors.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Each one of the floors, let me double check of how tall this tower is. Tower's 80. Each floor is 20 feet high.
Okay, that's not very terrible.
No, I mean, if it's just a Nora, that should be fine.
I'd even be able to throw her up there.
Let's not.
Just toss her like a football up there.
I vote we use the elevator.
Ira, what did you do with the monocle? You had it out and about inspecting the carts.
Might just leave it on,
Okay.
especially with the statues there.
As you step across the threshold, with that item out,
Oh, okay,
utilizing
we'll go
its what? Oh, did you never go in?
No, I did, and then I went back out.
Okay.
But, so we can go back to like. When
I
we
just
went
yeah,
back in with
if
it.
you didn't go in, it's completely different. But stepping in with that on, right as you cross the threshold of the door, the item fails to work. You can tell that the lens itself becomes foggy and unclear. Like it's almost impossible. You kind of take it off and you wipe the lens a little bit and then you put it back on, and it's almost like a magical fog that is now surrounding the lens, not allowing you to be able to see through it.
Well, that's weird. And I'll kind of teeter-totter back and forth over the threshold.
It takes a second, but you know, if you're trying that out, stepping away, what appears to be 5 feet away from the door, allows you to regain use of that particular item again.
Looking into the room, do I see anything magical from the outside?
From the outside,
just
the
feel-
entire building seems to be a fog.
Very interesting.
Like even being, let's say, 20 feet away from the tower just appears to be a massive tower pillar of fog through that particular lens. Looking around, you can peer into the water without issues, and then reflecting back at the cart, and you see the magical aura. But looking at the tower specifically, this monocle does not appear to want to work.
This tower not only does it not have a magical aura, but it's shrouded for some reason.
I can see why this
The
would
whole
be a good
tower.
place.
Very interesting.
For-
I'm gonna step into the threshold, and I'm just gonna cast light on a silver coin that I have. Do I have a silver coin? A coin that I have.
Give me 1 second.
After that, I'm going to go around and inspect the scaffolding while people investigate that.
Yeah, conjuring the magical source within you, attempting to cast light. You can see for a brief moment the item just glows just for a bit and then quickly fades back down to no light at all.
Oh, this. If I cast it inside, does it work and then fizzle out, or is my magic?
Did you say you went outside to cast the light spell?
I started off outside and I brought the source of light in, the shiny gold coin that's
as soon as you cross the threshold, the magical source was snuffed. No more light.
And am I able to cast the light or cast light again on the coin?
No. If you try, it'll flicker for just a moment and then immediately be snuffed out.
Well, whatever's happening in here, I don't want any part of it. Because these puppies aren't made for fighting. So I'm gonna hang back out over here and watch you guys.
Does the same happen if Asterius tries to cast light?
Yes. Anderson, just stepping across the threshold causes you to feel the burden of your gear just that much more as the additional strength fades. And Ira, your cloak of protection, you don't feel the shroud of additional defense as you normally would. Basically anybody that has any sort of magical items, including Panton, I think you had your ring that gave you +1 to hit. Those are no longer
working
in effect. Yeah, stepping across the threshold, all of that magic stops. At least all of your magic.
Magic items, though. Like, we were able to still cast.
So anybody who uses magic as a primary source may want to wait outside.
I'm gonna make my way over here then, and just kind of irritated with the whole being completely useless now. I'm going to start making my way up this scaffolding a little bit.
Okay.
Just kind of testing it out a little.
Honora, are you standing in the center there?
Yeah, I was gonna have Anderson try to elevator me up.
As you're standing in the center, kind of looking up, the stone golems you hear grind, lurching forward, grabbing the chains, and start to pull, and you can hear the chains clanking together as looking up and you can see it appears that they are pulling the platform down towards you.
Oh, I will get out of the way then.
Panton, as you're stepping outside and you're looking up at this ladder, you can see that the beams supporting this scaffolding, they're relatively rotted. As you, you kind of even give it a little hit, and you can tell that it still seems sturdy enough, especially for someone of your weight. But you would imagine that probably you wouldn't want to get multiple people up on this surface at the same time. But as you're starting to climb up, you can kind of feel the breeze and hear the groaning and creaking of the wood surface as you're climbing on it.
Careful there, my friend. I've got you if you fall, though.
Thank you. If you see me fall, yeah, because I got something too, but it probably will also blast away all the scaffolding, so I don't think I want to do that. So,
it's too bad we don't have something that can fly and check out the... Oh, wait. Summon Rigsby, and also I want to do a fly around, see if I can look into any of the windows. And I'll have, Rigsby fly right by Panton, wherever Panton is on the
I'm
scaffolding.
gonna climb up on the scaffolding. And how high does it go to the second level by chance, or?
It goes up to the kind of walking. It goes up about half a floor, and then you see the platform, the scaffolding careens around the side of the tower. Ira, as you're summoning Rigsby and you're trying to do a swoop around, as it attempts to fly over top of Panton within that 5-foot range, disappears from existence. Panton, as you get across to the other side, you see a ladder that extends all the way up to what appears to be the third floor. There are a couple windows that you could maybe climb up halfway up the ladder and be able to peer into, but they're narrow enough that you probably wouldn't be able to see much.
I'm just gonna keep shouting down everything that I see. I'm gonna keep climbing higher and higher. And if I pass by a window, I'm just gonna take a quick peek and see what's on that floor.
Okay.
I will make my way up.
So as you're climbing up and you're kind of peering into the window, it's really hard to see. It's really hard to see much, but you can see that the middle of the floor is kind of broken and decayed. Same thing that you could see from the bottom, but it's the second floor at least is an empty room, dust, cobwebs, in the floor, as well as the ceiling partially collapsed.
Shot that all down. And do I see the elevator moving down to Nora?
That's a you probably wouldn't be able to see it so much as you would be able to hear the clanking of the chains. As you're climbing up further, you can hear the metal clanking and stone grinding of the chains from inside.
Still going up while everything else is going on.
Okay. At this point, all of you down at the base feel a as the platform comes to a grinding halt at the foot of the floor. It would probably be able to take, looking at it, maybe 2 of you full-sized and maybe a halfling. But it doesn't appear that all of you would be able to fit on this platform all at once.
But it looks sturdy enough to bring at least 1 to 2 more of us. Does anybody want to come?
Yeah, I'll come with.
Okay. Do you guys want to wait down here? Asterius, Temperance?
Someone needs to keep watch.
Right.
I'll come.
And magic isn't working inside this building.
Well, hopefully I won't need any magic then.
Be prepared. I mean, do you have anything that pokes people? Anything sharp?
A few. A sickle, a dagger here and there.
Okay.
This robe hides a lot more than you expect.
I'm just making sure that, like, Panton can't be in here. He'd be useless.
Can I hear that?
No.
No, it would be incredibly difficult for you to be outside 60 feet up and just hear just a normal voice conversation from inside.
Alright, so I'll jump onto the platform. Grab a chain.
Yep.
Me
Anderson's
see.
going on as well.
Temperance makes a little leap.
Asterius, catch us if we fall, okay?
I make no promises.
Ray of sunshine, you are.
Well, best of luck, old timer.
Alrighty. As you kind of say your goodbye for the moment, saying you'll be back, it's as if the stone golems understand to the point to where they start to pull the opposite direction, and you can feel at first the uneasy grinding of that stone releasing itself from the base, but as it starts to travel upwards, you definitely you saw how slow it was coming down, but now standing on it, you can feel how slow it is. It is only moving 5 feet per round. So for it's taking nearly 30 seconds to go up 20 feet. So it is going to take you probably 2 minutes to get to the top. But slowly but surely, and relatively smoothly after the initial rough start, the elevator brings you up. Getting past the initial... I'm just gonna move you all to the next floor. Who's all on there? Temperance is there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the second floor, cobwebs, dirt, dust. You can see the floor that you're approaching through rotted and crumbled away. Not looking so far like a very hospitable tower. Eventually, in that same time, you all get to the third floor as you eventually see Panton cresting over the top of the scaffolding. And, as I said, it's an entire 24 to 30 seconds per floor, so you get to see him climbing up and getting up and standing up fully upright. And Panton, as you get to the third floor, you peer in and you see all of them riding on the elevator, just the top half of their bodies as they're coming up through. Looking into the third floor, it appears that time and the elements have all but destroyed this chamber as well, leaving a gash in the entire side of the tower. Looking at the walls in that particular area that has been exposed to the elements, you can see black mildew has started to form on the walls. The wooden floor, even more rotted than the last, has definitely begun to fall away in places. Panton, do you do anything now, seeing that the rest of them, or do any of you do anything, seeing that they're all there?
There any
Might
other
wave at Panton.
riders? there any other ladders, or is this the end of the line for me?
This is the end of the line for you, unless you can think of a different means to get up.
I certainly can, but I don't want to destroy anything.
I mean, you do what you would do.
Oh, how many floors to this?
Looking outside, it was about an 80-foot tower. You would guess that you're probably about 3/4 of the way up at this point.
Just turn into a gorilla.
God no. Hey guys, if you're gonna keep going up,
What?
let me know what happens. I'm not
Okay.
stepping
What?
foot in there because
Is he saying something?
I think so, but it's really
Can't
hard
tell.
to hear him.
Yes, Banton, we will see you soon.
I don't know what that awkward interaction was, but
Well,
I
was
don't
here
he's
for it.
probably
know
outside of the
either.
tower. It's probably windy, and he's yelling at us as
Oh.
we're listening to these
Yeah,
chains.
it's because
Right over
there's like a
here.
wall separating us, so it might be kind of hard to hear him.
It's not a wall,
It's just like
it's
a
open.
30-second, like,
noises.
hey.
There's a big
Oh,
ass
it's
gap
like,
right there, guys.
what?
Yeah, it's a big old broken hall. He could step inside of it if he wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like completely like.
I like the
wall.
idea of
Okay.
us just pretending not to understand and just keep
We
going
could also
up.
go with that.
That might push him over the
Scared.
edge. You never know.
What was that?
He is 60 feet in the air. You never know if he's just gonna jump off.
Nah, he would already have done that if he wanted to do that. Okay, Panton, we'll see you in a bit. This is slow.
All right. Ira, you do anything else after you tried to summon Rigsby and she...
Yeah, can I materialize Rigsby after I got it too close to the tower? Can I materialize it elsewhere?
Yes.
Like away from it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just go back to the cart and put a hand on it and kind of just do a scan of the
Which cart?
surrounding area. Our cart.
Okay. Give a perception check with your owl, if you would, please. Panton, are you doing anything besides just standing on that scaffolding? Like, are you stepping inside, or?
I will cast light again on the coin, and I will stick my hand into the tower to see if the light still goes.
So, as you're trying to cast it within 5 feet of that tower, it has the same reaction as if you're inside. So as you initially cast light onto it, like, you feel just the faintest flicker from that coin, and then it just vanishes again.
So then I'm gonna look down at Ira and realize, wow, I'm really high up here. Hey, Ira, if you see me, like, intentionally jump off the tower, then go ahead and do whatever you were going to do, because apparently being right next to it is really terrible.
You don't get any responses. Like, Ira's just kind of like looking up, and you see the owl kind of flying around above.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. Okay, I'll do this in a little bit of an order. As you're coming up to your elevator gets to the top floor and you start to crest the threshold, you notice that this floor is unlike the levels below. The room shows signs of recent habitation, and although the place reeks of mold and mildew, it has plenty of your normal comforts. Let me go ahead and... yeah. There's a bed. There's a desk with a matching chair. The tapestries in this room, bright and lively. And you see a large wood-burning stove just to the east in that tower. the light that enters are through the arrow slits in each of the four corners of the tower. The old wooden, looking up, you see old wooden rafters bending under the weight of the tower roof, but overall still intact. Mounted to those rafters are the pulleys for the elevator that you had just taken.
Any sign of like recent use?
Yeah, you would notice that the wood-burning stove still has a little bit of heat coming off of it. So it is warmer up here in the tower than it is the rest of the tower, especially because of the draft that you just felt on the third floor. Stepping into this one is definitely a breath of fresh air. It's still burning while low and down to kind of the coals. It is definitely still there. Give me an investigation check outside of that.
Yeah.
Tell me anything that you're looking for.
Why would anybody live here?
You also see over here. Is that ping showing up on the map?
Yep.
Yeah. A standing suit of armor. It appears to be well polished and taken care of. An 11 for an investigation.
Does anybody want to help him?
I'm gonna search the desk.
Okay. Yeah. You can search the desk.
Basically, I'm what the main things I'm looking for are like, I don't know, signs of Irina or Octavio himself being here like recently, or any signs of them like leaving recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the foot of the bed, kind of tucked behind a locked chest that, as you're getting closer, even with your heightened senses a little bit, you can tell smells strong of lavender. You see Irina's armor and sword kind of propped up against the wall. You would definitely recognize that, as she probably wore some of the most ornate armor that you had seen since stepping into Barovia. Let's see, what else do we have?
Is there any sign of a scuffle?
You can give me an investigation check as well.
Ooh, very nice.
In this room, it doesn't appear to be so. Everything looks relatively intact. Honora, searching through the desk. I don't know why I'm struggling here. You see a journal of sorts, at least from the outside. The leather-bound book would appear to be a journal, but looking on the inside, you see that pages have been ripped out, and the binding of it is far thicker than the amount of pages that are contained within. I just realized I didn't make you roll an investigation check. Go ahead and give me one, please, while I stop with the... Okay, that's enough. You would have been able to discern that. Kind of pulling open the drawers, you find standard things. Ink, quill. You see a partially burned map of Barovia. But nothing else of tremendous note.
Okay. Guys, she's supposed to be here. I wonder where she went.
What's going on with the suit of armor? Can I just like, I don't know, make sure no one's inside of it?
Anderson, careful. Remember, the last time we had to deal with a suit of armor.
Yeah, we'll just toss it off like we did the last one.
Well, toss Nico first.
True.
Is there a story there?
Yeah, our friend Nico, we got surprised by a suit of armor kind of like this one that just came to life, and it pushed him off a balcony, and then I pushed it off a balcony. It's fun.
Okay, yes, be
It appears
careful
to
with
be
that suit
just
of armor.
a suit of armor.
We've seen some weird stuff. Also doors. Always poke a door with a sword before you touch it. We learned that one the hard way too.
And Anderson just kind of shudders a little bit.
Spoken like a true fighter.
Temperance
Poke
with
everything with your sword first.
Exactly.
with a 19 investigation, you also notice kind of what Anderson had already found with his scent, that you the smell of lavender that is coming from this room is strongly emanating from a chest, a foot locker at the foot of the bed.
Wait, so is the chest open, like, or is it not open?
It's not opened. It is closed.
Could I open it?
You're always welcome to try anything you'd like to. You just have to tell me if you'd like to.
Yes, let's open it.
All right.
That can happen.
Make sure you poke it with your sword first so it doesn't try to bite you.
Right.
Or your nose
I will-
their sleeve in case
I will
We
they
were
poke it
just
with the-
talking about this.
I will
The
poke at it with the
notorious-
rapier first.
Lavender-scented mimic.
Right.
As you poke the
We're gonna do
chest
3 of those.
with your sword, nothing happens.
Okay, now you can open
Okay,
it.
I will open it
Yeah,
up now.
please open it.
The two of you standing there, as you open the chest, you see a severed head of a male figure, appearing to be Vistani in nature.
Does
It's
it look
flesh.
like anybody we know?
No. I guess make a history check if you want. I think you've only come across just the
Like
few
4.
Vistani in the encampment. There were quite a few there, but not very many. You would say, with a 22 on your history, that this is not one that you had seen before. But looking at this head, you see that it has a waxy complexion. It does not, it looks like it had been there for a really long time and is somehow being preserved by magical means.
Why? It's so creepy. Why is it? Anderson, he's got the same hobby you do, collecting heads.
Yeah, but mine's more of a finesse. This seems different here. It's not a vampire head.
I just, Irina's not here. We probably should just go.
Ira, as you're
Well,
circling the owl out and about, you don't see anything with Rigsby. Circling it as far as you can, trying to get a lay of the land, obviously, to see if there's anything coming towards the... what am I looking for? The small choke path for the heads out to the island. And because you're kind of deafened at this point, you definitely don't hear it. But you, Starius, and even everybody in the tower would probably begin to hear the howling of wolves closer now. And Asterius kind of looking across the way. Give me, you know what? I won't make you make a perception check for this. You hear the wolves, and it's with your passive perception, you'd definitely be able to see it. You can see, I don't know, definitely more than a half a dozen wolves starting to run from the trees and kind of encroaching onto the tower.
Interesting.
Do I see these wolves as well?
What's your passive perception? Go ahead and just give me a perception check. You're up there on the tower, so you'd probably get a decent. Go ahead and make it with advantage.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't even see your roll at. Yeah, I was looking at something else. Yeah, 14.
Yeah, it was really good timing.
You'd be able to see the wolves as well.
All right, then I'm gonna try to shout up, guys, we got company! We got company! And I'm gonna start making my way.
At this point, can we hear him since we're a floor up and sealed now?
Yeah, if he's yelling, you'd still be able to hear it.
Okay. Okay, so she's not here. We probably need to go, and apparently there's a ruckus going on downstairs. And I'll climb back on the
Well.
platform.
Well, that's just grand.
Down.
I like to avoid danger as much as you do. Go.
Down. Somehow, Temperance, I don't think we're going to be able to avoid. I think it's more about surviving.
Just a second, I'm having an issue. I lost my... I guess I don't really need it. All right, so
7
you're
turns
all...
to get downstairs.
Yeah, it'll take you several. At this point, I guess, Ira, you would probably be back over in this general area where the cart would be. Does anybody do anything to...
Actually, before the tower starts going down, I'd like to grab Irina's armor and weapon.
Okay. All right, you're able to do so.
So the tower itself, at least these wolves running towards us.
Mm-hmm.
It was said this tower is like kind of on an island. You said, right?
Yeah. It's basically. I guess let me see if I can take you guys back to the map really quick.
There's like a land bridge that kind of leads up to.
Yeah, that's basically all it is. It's just a land bridge. Like it's the rest of Barovia coming up to this land bridge, and then it's surrounded by a large lake. So it probably goes out about 100 feet into the water.
So the land bridge is the only way to get there, and the wolves, have they crossed this land bridge yet?
Not yet. You can see them in the distance.
Just running towards the tower, basically.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I assume I'd see that with Rigsby at some point as I'm.
Yeah, after probably several rounds pass as circling back around, you would eventually have seen them. Yeah. Panton, you said, are you climbing back down?
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and just move you on back. Okay. Do you guys do anything? Probably have about, I'm gonna say, about 3 rounds to prepare for their arrival.
We're going down. So we'll still be going down in 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Pull out the wire for a second, and then I was like, ah, shit. Did you see that? I'll call that out.
You guys can all hear that. And Asterius, who's now relatively close to you, definitely could see that.
No.
Wolves, protect the horses.
You said it was 3 rounds, so it gives me time to do something else here.
I'm gonna open up the cart for our saber-toothed friend to maybe join in the fight.
If it wants to join
Probably
us.
get the horses inside, get the tiger out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We get the horses inside the tower. Like that.
Yeah, that's what I would like to try to do.
You can certainly try. Make animal handling checks.
Animal handling.
Come on, Master Animal Handler.
Can I use my first turn to give him guidance on that?
I'm gonna say since it's already happened, no. But
Okay,
if he
I didn't
wants
see
to
the roll.
spend
My
his, if you want to do it for his second one, like he's untying these horses,
Yeah.
and they're hearing the howling of the wolves, and they're already extremely uneasy, and they are extremely difficult for you to control. You just barely holding on to them at this point.
It'll help over here.
Yeah, I'll cast guidance on you for my first turn then. That way next time around you get something. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I
not at the
think,
point of initiative or anything like that, but
yeah. Just prepping right now. And I think I know what I'm gonna do. I just need to wait for everyone else.
I'm going to use prestidigitation to create some carrots on sticks, because apparently I can create a non-magical trinket or illusory image with the spell as well.
okay.
And I will try to help him get the horses towards the tower.
All right. For the second round, I guess, Ira, you can roll your animal handling check with advantage.
And guidance.
And
Yeah, and guidance.
Because those horses go, we're on foot.
Okay. And
Add a
then
D4.
plus 4, or plus a D4. Okay, 17. Yeah, with a little bit of help from Panton's conjured item, you're able to lead these horses. And as you start to pull them across the threshold, they follow you without issue into the base of the tower.
Disappeared.
They disappear. They were never real horses.
They were magic horses.
Yeah, they get into the base of the tower and start like kind of ruffling through the crates that are off on the side, which all appear to be empty.
How wide is this land bridge?
Probably about 20 feet wide.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'll just wait. If it, anyone need help? Just for my second thing I can do.
I am readying my crossbow with a regular arrow.
I'm readying my diamond.
Okay.
Cool.
We have when we get to the second level, I want to try to scale down the chains.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
To go faster.
Yeah, as you get to the second level, go ahead and give me either an athletics or an acrobatics, depending on how you're attempting to perform this. Okay. Yeah, as soon as the base of the elevator gets beyond the third floor and starts to go into the second floor, you duck down and you, basically holding on to the chain, swing yourself around, grabbing onto it, and just start sliding down, making your way.
Errol Flynn?
Yeah.
Like a spider monkey.
I kind of want to land on the horses.
Yeah, but you're
21, I should be able to land on horses without startling them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you'll be able to make it down to the base before the altercation or the confrontation happens.
Okay.
John, quick question.
Yes, sir.
I feel like, based on what Anderson has seen, he knows regular magic isn't going to work.
Right.
What about
inside
what
the
about blood
tower?
magic? Inside the tower, yes. But what about the blood magic? Because I know that's a little different.
What are you trying to use?
The Crimson Rite. Trying to set that up before combat begins.
Um,
Anderson just stabs himself and nothing happened. He's like, "Fuck."
Whoops.
I'm just used to
Maybe
doing that
he made a
reflexively.
mistake and stabs himself somewhere else.
Mm.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
I didn't
say
get enough.
I'm gonna rule that you would be able to perform the Crimson Rite, but any of the effects that it would have, like let's say for instance you were to somehow the combat was to be brought inside of the tower, you would not gain any additional benefit from the lightning damage or whatever additional damage that you invoke when you strike with a melee weapon. Does that make sense?
Okay, so if I want to use that, I basically wait till I'm outside.
You can turn it on, but it won't work.
Yeah,
until you're
you can
outside.
turn it on,
Oh,
but
okay.
it won't work until you're outside.
Okay.
Unless
Yeah, I'll
unless
turn-
it's like rage to where you have to hit somebody every so often for it to stay. I don't.
No, it's just on until I like drop the weapon.
Okay, yeah. Then you could actively use this time for that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use that with the mace.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot, but
I would have left Irina's stuff on the elevator, because obviously it's not, imperative at the moment.
Yeah.
So now that I think we're all down here now. I got
Not
two
quite.
questions. Okay. Well,
Temperance and Anderson are still going down on the elevator. Only I got down to the bottom.
cool. I still have two questions.
Okay.
Number one, these wolves, are they like big bad motherfucker wolves, or do they look like wolves?
They are much larger than your normal wolf. More of the size of what you would consider to be like a warg size.
Okay. Second question. I heard how wide the bridge was. How long is it?
About 100 feet.
Okay. Third question.
Last question.
Wall of Fire lets me do it up to 60 feet long and 20 feet wide. So, like, can I just hold my action until where, like, a bunch of them are on the bridge and just drop it on them?
Yeah, link the spell for me.
Sure. Light Domain is very fun.
oh boy, yes it is.
So 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick. Or a ring wall up to 20 feet diameter.
Because I'm just thinking, if it's just like a straight thing, I just scorch a line through it, essentially.
So it's only 1 foot thick. So, like, it's 60 feet long.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's 20 feet high, but it's only 1 foot thick.
Okay.
So, like, if you tried to scorch a line, you might hit a couple of them. You might not. That's 1 feet out of 20 feet of the... But you could put it straight across.
Which would just be a wall.
Which would
I mean,
just
what
be
if
a
we had
wall.
multiple walls of fire? That'd be crazy, right?
It would be. It'd be really
also
crazy.
do wall of fire.
It would be pretty crazy. It would be pretty crazy.
The lines of walls of fire.
I'll hold off for now. I think I'll hold off for now. We'll see what happens with that.
Alrighty.
You can always coordinate it a couple turns.
Well, I mean, I cast Wall of Fire or I cast Death Ward. I don't really know which one I want to cast.
Simon.
Yeah.
When you cast the wall, you pick a side, and that side is the one that the fire's on.
Right.
So the wall appears each creature. Selected. One side of the wall selected by you when you cast the spell does 5d8 fire damage to each creature at the end of its turn within 10 feet of that side or inside the wall.
Oh, then I can just then I can just scorch a line down through there.
Yep, and then everything 10 feet of one side of the wall also
And-
gets affected.
Temperance could do the other side and just make a hall of
A
fire, not a
pile.
wall of fire.
A hall of
Dude, we're
fire.
gonna scorch these things alive.
But, the fact that Temperance is, 20 feet in the air, 30 feet in the air right now means you
It
can't
makes it a
coordinate.
little bit more complicated, yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We're getting there.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
haven't quite gotten that party to be that cohesive yet.
You got
Well,
you got
yeah.
like 15 seconds to decide what you're gonna do before they're on the bridge now, or on the land bridge.
Cool,
I'm going to
then-
go ahead and cast enlarge reduce on myself and make myself bigger.
Okay. All right. So you're
And I'm
now
going to choose
large
to fail
size.
that. So now I am large size, and I get a D4 on everything I hit.
Okay.
Big ass halfling.
I'll hold my action until I see they're about like halfway through that bridge, and then I will just drop it.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself so that it turns on as soon as we're out the door.
Now I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna draw
Sure.
let me draw a shape of land mass. What did I say? It was 20 feet wide.
You said 20 feet wide.
There you go. 20 feet wide. Let's just pretend that that's how are you placing your wall of fire?
Where are you drawing it at? Sorry.
It's at the base of the... Can you not see it? Did I draw it on the wrong layer?
I think you drew it on the wrong layer.
Okay, yeah, let me... God dang it, I keep... There.
And can you make my token bigger?
There
I
we
should be
go.
taking up 4 squares. Thank you.
Alright, do you see that now?
Yeah. There we go. Oh, wait, hold on. I accidentally clicked Iron's token. I see the square down here.
Yep.
I didn't make that. Okay.
I made
So
that. That's 20 foot wide.
That's 20 foot wide.
Actually, it's
Okay.
25 feet wide, but you get the gist. I just need to know what orientation you're making this wall of fire. Are you making it straight across? Are you trying to do one
My
side
idea
and hitting
is
half
pretty
of them?
much, just do it down this one side here, because that's probably the best way I can really do it. Which is why I was waiting until halfway, then we're through there, so that at least I can get as many as I can in the first go. And if more get hit by it, that's nice, but
Okay.
it'll be within these squares basically.
All right.
So
what are they? There's no saving throw or anything like that. It's just if they're in
No.
that area.
Yeah.
It's a
What
dex saving
happens?
throw.
It's a
dex
dex.
saving
Yeah, what
throw.
happens
Okay.
is that when it's dropped, anything within that side, a side I choose, within 10 feet of that side, has to make the dex save or take 5d8.
Okay.
It also does it initially as well. So they initially have to make the dex save. Hi.
I'm just
Hello.
putting them all on the map, and I'm going to
What are
go
you
ahead
doing?
and start. Everybody on the left-hand side of the map is going to have to roll the dexterity saving throw, as they're all running. Not all of them were within that that 10 foot of the 20-foot wall.
Yeah.
But everybody on the left side, that I had those tokens pre-placed.
Fair.
So let's see. I need. We're gonna go
Pretty much
top to bottom. So
down this line.
four werewolves. Go ahead and roll the damage so I know what to.
Sure.
Dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
That is
Ooh.
32.
that is a beautiful
Nice.
roll,
Oh,
sir.
that's
Okay,
amazing.
top one fails. Minus 32. Next one.
Holy shit.
11, that fails. What's the
That fails.
DC?
DC is 15.
Gross. Minus 32.
Mhm.
Next one below that.
Mhm.
Fails.
Light domain is so fun.
Oh my god, it is.
That one
Hey.
saves.
Half damage.
Half
Yeah,
damage.
I'm doing the mental math here. What is that? 16. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do this lady. Take save 19, so she takes 16. And then this guy.
This boy. Who are you? That's a
He
fail.
fails. Minus. Alrighty, give me
Yeah.
1 second.
Sure thing.
I just kind of was done with the piano for a minute.
All good. Yeah, like when they're all basically on that bridge, or at least as much as he can muster there, Asterius kind of like takes out his mace, and as if ordering like a squad of archers, makes a motion to fire, and then from like off within like a nebulous distance of the lake, all these like flaming hail of arrows comes out before like forming the line there for the wall, and like flame sort of erupts, crackles out from there.
Alrighty. As they're charging down, all in large wolf form, you see this, and just entire half of the group just taking massive amounts of fire damage, and you can see their pelts, their fur singed. Some of them looking pretty beat up already, kind of mustering over to the side, limping, but kind of prowling and looking at you all in with vicious intent. Two larger of the pack wolves transform into human form as they approach you, and the large muscular man in front, very plain clothing, just kind of a plain cotton shirt, sleeves a little bit tattered, linen pants, dark black brown hair with an unkept beard, walks up. I ought to have you killed for that. Where's Esmeralda? I know
Who?
she's here. Esmeralda,
No one's
that's
here.
her cart. Where is she?
We
And
haven't seen anybody.
You're not from around here. Who are you and what are you doing here? You can just hear him breathing heavily. What did you say?
Are you with Strahd? He usually has wolves.
The woman directly behind him. No, we are not with Strahd. We are of our own kind here. We work off of our own code.
If you don't work for Strahd, we have no beef. We're real sorry. And I'll put my weapon down.
Yeah, you can roll an
I'll
insight
drop.
check.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm suspicious of these motherfuckers.
I'm also giant, so it's fine.
At this point,
I don't know
At this
these
point,
guys.
Anderson, you would be down, and as you would kind of, the two of you would be walking out, pulling back the curtain and seeing a massive wall of fire still lighting the land bridge heading this way, and looking at the clothes of the two humans, still somewhat singed, and several wolves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're looking to be close to a dozen people / wolves surrounding the tower, looking to have it pretty well circled. From what you can tell from your insight check, you don't know. You haven't seen any werewolves yet. This is the first that you've seen any werewolves. You know that wolves seem to be under his control.
Are you talking about Asteris?
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I was
I
thinking.
wanted. Oh, I probably should have asked if I could have rolled an insight as well. That's my bad. Because I was just like, I don't really
Has
trust him either.
Ira seen
We're
a werewolf?
intimate. Well, I mean, Anderson's kind of like a half werewolf.
No, of this land. Like, of this
Okay.
land, you don't know. Like, Anderson's not loyal to Strahd. I mean,
No.
he's a werewolf, but so other werewolves here, you haven't seen a werewolf yet in Barovia to know whether
That's
or
why
not
we
they're.
attacked him on sight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll actually actively put my sword down. I have other weapons on me, and I'll be like, "We're really sorry. We thought you were the wolves of Strahd. We don't know who this Esmeralda lady is. We just got here."
Make a persuasion check.
Put my hands up.
Can I give the help action by dropping the wall of fire?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can roll with it. You can roll with advantage as you see the wall of fire dissipate behind you. You know, still having just really hurt. Incinerated half of their clan at this point. The leader steps up and starts banging on the side of the cart. Esmeralda, I know you're here. Come out, and I won't harm your friends.
Who's Esmeralda?
I have no idea.
I was gonna ask you.
Well, what do you need with this Esmeralda? Like, we just kind of came over here looking for Rictavio.
Our business is our own. And as the leader is kind of stepping up and walking around inspecting the cart, he comes up closer to just passing by Anderson as he's looking up into the tower, and his head jerks, and you can see he closes his eyes and breathes heavily. What are you doing with them?
Beg your pardon?
And he reaches up and attempts to, and you can see his eyes are very much the way that yours used to be, yellow in color, and he reaches up to attempt to grab your glasses.
Easy.
Oh. I take them off.
He withdraws his hand, but he's looking at you and leans in and sniffs and really just breathes you in.
Something I can help you with?
Right.
Is it some sort of mating ritual? I'll say to Panton.
We have no idea.
Where are your eyes? I can smell it on you.
You gotta be more specific. partner.
You're one of us, I can tell. I can smell it. We know our own kind.
Look, it's a long story. I'm not right now. Not anymore.
The woman steps up to you, Anderson.
Okay.
Listen. And kind of grabs a hold of your hand and tries to lead you away. Do you allow her to do so?
I want to hear what she has to say. I'll allow it.
Pulling you...
I will actually reach my giant hand out and try to stop her. Excuse me. What do you think you're doing with our friend?
My business is with him, not you.
Well,
and you'll
his
be
business
wise
is
to
with
not
us.
touch me again.
I didn't touch her. I touched Anderson.
Oh, I thought you touched her.
No, I put the on Anderson's chest as he tried to
Okay.
walk past me. I was
All
like,
right. It's all right. Just let's hear them out.
okay, but they don't need to take you away. I
I'll
don't
be
know
fine.
them.
Look, I'll be fine. I promise.
Yeah.
Anything you have to say to him, you can say to the rest of us.
And she turns towards you, now close to your face, and she bares her fangs and snarls in your direction. I don't trust you.
We don't trust you either.
I trust him, and if he trusts me, he'll come this way.
Guys, it's all right. I'll be fine.
You best be careful with him, lest I feast on flank steak.
Make an intimidation check.
I have no bonus to that, so that's going to be fun.
I think at this point, Honora shrinks.
That's a 14.
Oh, that's not bad.
Could be worse.
You can tell as you say that she's taken off guard by, turns to look at you, somewhat defeated, and then shrugs her shoulder, kind of shrugs it off and turns her head in the opposite direction, leading Anderson over to the west.
Set half their pack on fire.
I did, and I really fucking did.
She leans into you. What are you doing with these humans?
Look,
Take
I
offense
ain't-
to that.
look, I ain't like you. I'm an outsider. I came in here with them. If you can trust me, you can trust them.
What are you doing here in this tower? This tower is not your own.
Looking for a man named Rictavio and Irina. You seen them?
I have not. We've been tracking down Esmeralda for several days now, and we saw her cart here. We thought
Yeah,
she
I
might
was
be
gonna
here.
ask, who is Esmeralda?
She's she's a Vistani woman. She's done grave harm to our group here. I won't go into the details, but you're not with Strahd either, are you?
Anderson just looks at her and says, I'd love nothing more than his head on his pike.
I haven't seen you around these parts, you or your companions. We typically stay to the southwest of Barovia. But what? I can't get over this scent. I'm so confused. Your eyes. Can you not change?
Not anymore. I don't know if you've heard what happened in Vallaki recently, but I was there. Strahd was there, and he, well, did something. And now I can't.
It seems that he's wronged us both then. He has my husband locked in a cell in his basement. Esmeralda had something to do with that.
He seems to screw over a lot of people around these parts.
We'll give you a moment to talk to your friends. And I'll take Carol away and talk to the rest of the group. My name's Zulika. And she extends a hand, still somewhat monstrous in nature, much larger than a normal human hand, with somewhat claws, longer nails, reaching out.
Yeah, I mean, this is about what Anderson would expect. He extends his hand and says, Anderson.
Take some time, talk to your friends. We might need to work together on this one. And that is where we'll pick up next time.
And the plot thickens.